So here you go. This is Emily C., my new bestie.
I hate the idea that someone out there hates me. I even hate thinking that Al-Qaeda hates me. I think if they got to know me, they wouldn't hate me.
This stole the show. Emily C. was phenomenal.
There's something you need to know.
What?
You're doing great.
Look at my baby. Here she is. Emily. 10 out of 10. Huge fan.
I see Emily C says 123. I trust her. She's really good.
Listen, Turtle, you gotta watch your language. I'm already live. So you need to follow the FCC guidelines.
He destroyed, left nothing in her path. It was so good.
Good morning. Good morning, everybody. It is a rainy, gloomy day outside here. And I used to always tell my kindergartners when it was a nasty day like this, that even though it was a gloomy day outside, we could have a sunny day inside. So I'm excited to have a sunny day inside with you guys today. I was thinking this morning, I'm like extra excited about this today because if you are on Twitter, I joined Twitter because I loved logging on every day and hearing so many different people analyze all the different angles of this case. And every day I felt like people were asking questions that helped us break piece by piece figure out what happened on January 29th, 2022. And now if you're on Twitter, it has really devolved from that. And I'm excited today to spend the morning with Vince and Sam because the two of them are people that still are trying to get to the bottom of this, and they're focused on that, and it's no drama and all the other nonsense that I've been subjected to. Before I bring them up and get started, I wanted to say what Sidebars we're doing today. So in true me fashion, we went at this with no plan of attack and no order or rhyme or reason. I was just I'm excited about the trial 2 sidebars. Let's do these. Now let's do this one. So we're getting to the end of both trials. So I'm hoping today we're going to finish all the sidebars that we have. It's the end of trial 1 and the end of trial 2. I also have it on my to-do list to go back through the videos that we've done and add timestamps so it's easier for people to go back and find the different sidebars if that is something that you're interested in. Also, you can always just watch them at Trial Channel because those are time-stamped and straightforward and organized in a way that I am not. I'm very organized in some ways. This is not one of them. And as always, I want to say the biggest, hugest thank you to Corey Hopkins for getting us these sidebars and Kyle Sharkey for the FOIA requests that led to us learning so many more details from so many documents, and everybody else who did those FOIA requests too. Corey was saying the other day that she's itching for more documents. So if you have suggestions about documents that you would like to see, let us know. And I would like to bring up my friend Vince now. Hello.
How you doing, Emily?
Do you think that Sam is ditching us?
I don't, but it is funny how you are very prepared. You sent the link to us days in advance. You warn us that we're going on. And Sam and I are like the two Ginzos. I know she's half Jewish, but you're so organized compared to both of us. 2 minutes before the show, we're like, I don't have the link. Even though I do have the link. You did send it to me. So you're getting bullied on Twitter. That's pretty cool. What are they saying? The gap in your teeth are bigger now as opposed to looking at the facts of the case?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Actually, I'd like to go back to the days when they were just bullying me about the gap in my teeth because
I always said I like that gap.
I appreciate that. I that's one I've gotten my entire life. So that one, actually, one thing that getting bullied online has done for me is I feel like I have a thicker skin now than I did when I started. Like when I started, I was so scared of, I think I was scared of like being misinterpreted or being misunderstood. And I felt like I wanted people to know who I really am. And it made me frustrated when they would kind of like put an identity on me that's not me. And now I'm kind of like, there's enough people that get me that I can kind of take it more than I used to be able to.
Yeah, it's a thing that I noticed about you. You used to block people, you used to fight back on people, and it's the wrong thing to do. And I'll tell you, like 10 years ago.
I never fought back. No, wait, I need to correct that. I didn't fight back. I tried to like win them over. Like I would be like, actually, like I think that we can find common ground, and like we actually probably have a lot in common. Like, what's your favorite food? And now I'm kind of like, yeah. But anyway.
Yeah, you just have to deal with it. I gave out all my information eventually because from this world, it's not that crazy compared to the Howard Stern crazies. And my address has been given out, my social security number, my kids' pictures, my kids' social security numbers. This was on a loop. Remember Periscope? I don't know if it's still around or not.
No, but I wasn't very like online. And I feel like when you're kind of like height of all of that, I was like in college, like not doing online stuff.
Yeah, so you're not that young, but either way, it's just a program where you can go live from your phone at any point. This guy who's a criminal had my picture and my social security number, my kid's picture in front of our house with our social security number on a loop. And I had to deal with that. He eventually did like 8 years in prison. He just got out. So yeah, you don't have it that bad. Yeah, what? You weren't paying attention. Who are you texting, Sam?
No, I was sending Sam the link. Sorry. So the last text from Sam is M okay? Where are you, Miss Emily? Sorry, I wasn't looking at my phone. What did I miss?
You miss us being disorganized right to the very end, because I know you sent the link out like 2 weeks ago, or at least 2 days ago. So we definitely had it in our group. Oh, I still got to send that check to the Canton PD for $300 or $350, and I still haven't found the check yet. So I have to do that as well. Sorry, Corey. But
wait, when you say that, like you don't have a checkbook? Like it's just a personal checkbook?
No, I don't do any of the bookkeeping, but I don't even have like checks anymore. So it's just a pain in the ass, because if I do write a check, generally it comes from the law firm, but technically it's not a law firm expense. I don't have a personal checkbook.
Why not?
Who uses checks anymore? I barely use cash anymore. But speaking of checks, Corey Hopkins received
that's what I was just going to ask you.
Check from your state. So basically you paid Corey Hopkins. She had the old check where you have to rip the two sides on the left and the top, and out comes a check paid by the state of Massachusetts. Corey Hopkins took him down. And I think part of the settlement, she agreed not to keep appealing and bothering them if they paid her fees and any type of filing fees or whatever. I don't know exactly what happened, but either way, she opened deck. Did she show you how much she got?
No, I was going to ask you. I didn't even know what the check was, like why they were paying her in the first place. So that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm just assuming, but I don't like when people don't show us how much it is. It's probably like a couple $100, but it is funny that she ends up filing the lawsuit, gets all the documents, wins, and then they end up paying her.
Yeah. I mean, she is their worst nightmare, because I think, like, at first I used to say that, like, we were their worst nightmare because the last thing that anybody involved in this whole debacle wanted was, like, YouTubers dissecting every single thing that they said and did. But Corey is another level of their worst nightmare because she's relentless. She was never going to take no for an answer. She is so smart and had all the tools at her disposal to make this happen. And it was like, I swear they probably wake up in the middle of the night with that queen picture in their mind. And first things first, let me welcome. Oh no, what am I doing here?
You also forgot she's beautiful, smart, has beautiful blonde, silky hair.
Literally an angel. Hello. I'm so sorry about not looking at my phone.
No, that's okay. I was like, is Emily okay? Did something happen?
No, I was just listening to Spotify, like in my own world, and then
Totally okay.
StreamYard make like a ding noise when it's time to go live, because like a little thing pops up in the corner that's like it's showtime, but if you're not looking at it, like I miss it every time, and I'm like, oh,
That's funny. No problem at all.
good morning.
And Sam, I was
morning.
explaining that you and I are a mess because Emily already sent us the link, but 2 seconds before the show, where's the link?
Did
Where's the link?
she?
Then I go
Did
back.
she?
Yeah.
That's so funny. I only saw the link to the promotion stuff, which
Yeah.
I had already done, so it's okay. No problem.
Jenny says, is Corey's check hush money? If it is, I don't think it's going to work, because there's nothing that's going to get Corey to hush until we get to the bottom of this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Corey's a boss, no doubt.
And yes, Nate Taylor said that I'm a diabolical mastermind and trolls should beware. I'm not going to argue with that.
Sam, do you have an issue with trolls on Twitter or anything else?
I just don't pay attention to trolls, so I just systematically ignore them completely. Because I didn't get into this to spew hate, or even to troll, to mess with the trolls. Right. So I just don't engage it, I think of it as like children that if you just don't give them attention, eventually they get disinterested and go away.
Yeah, because I am a troll, so if you do that to me, I get mad, but then eventually I do go away. If you don't give me what I need, it's like I need to have that pushback. Otherwise, I will go away. And Sam, you are basically who you are as we see you. Now, Emily's completely different. She's a little bully off screen. She's not this little prissy girl that people think, but Sam's always been that consistent
No, I'm a
person.
diabolical mastermind online too.
I wouldn't go that far, but there is still this Miss Goody Two Shoes that I get from you, Emily. Not nearly as much as Sam being different in real life.
I'm not trying to be Miss Goody Two Shoes. I don't even like that characterization. I don't think I'm Miss Goody Two Shoes.
Yeah, but you do come across that way. I think that's what I was sort of saying in our text chain last night. I was like, but I think they can, and that's why they do.
That's funny that you say that, because my entire life I used to like get in trouble in school a lot, and my teachers would always say something to me like that, which was like, you could really be like the leader in this class, and you're smart and you know this and but you're choosing not to. And I'm like, no, you're just misunderstanding me. Like you thought I was this little goody two shoes that was just gonna like crisscross and like do whatever the teacher says, and that isn't me. I mean, I feel like I respect people who are respectful, and like I liked the teachers that seemed like they really cared, and when they didn't, I was like, why? If you don't care, why should I care?
Do you have any tattoos, Emily?
No.
Yeah,
But
because
that's
Samantha
because
must
I'm
have a badass
indecisive.
history, right? Like I would picture someone like Samantha being very disruptive in school. I wasn't. I was afraid of my parents, but I was always a wise ass, but I knew how to not sort of get in trouble. But Sam, did you ever get suspended from school?
I got suspended in 8th grade.
For what?
For bringing
Look at this.
alcohol to school in a hairspray bottle. It was actually in my friend's locker. We were outed. She left it in her locker over the weekend, and we got caught.
What did your dad do?
I don't know if my dad was aware of it at the time. I think it might have been a mom and me secret. I don't think anybody
Were you
knew about
rebelling
that.
because of the divorce?
I don't think I was rebelling. I just had maybe a little more freedom. My mom worked all the time and my parents had separated. So, I told you this the other day. My parents are not like other parents. Like they're just not. Like they're awesome. Everybody loves my parents, both separately. They're just a lot of fun. And I had a lot of freedom. And so as people do, the kids that have freedom, I was like the good kid that had freedom, but
Yeah.
a lot of my friends didn't. They came because they had freedom too. And I didn't really understand that till I was older. But like, the kids that have a lot of freedom usually do because they don't have oversight.
Yeah. Emily,
makes
did you
sense.
drink in high school?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't drink until college. I never done a drug in my life, illegal drug.
Did you go wild in college when you started drinking? I feel like sometimes
No.
people that like didn't drink in high school go to college and then suddenly they're like the
That's
ones
true.
passed out on the frat quad, like barf all over themselves.
I mean, look, it's happened a few times, but it wasn't. I didn't go crazy like that.
That's funny.
That is interesting. All right, so Emily, your dad never told you how he shaves his shaft and balls to get a few
No.
inches bigger. No, okay, yeah, I
Or
never
tell the whole
spoke about
world either.
Well, we were sending some pictures around of Samantha's dad. Again, people don't realize how famous this guy is, especially here. I always brag for Samantha, but this is like
Should I
uber
pull up that
famous
picture?
because people in sports, especially in New York, it was just a big deal. And I think that has to be the biggest radio station sports-wise, at least when we were growing up. I mean, I'm talking big. This is the biggest market, I believe, in the world for this type of genre. And the fact that Joe Benigno is your dad. And I told you I had a friend on the New Jersey Housewives with the same exact name, Joe Benigno. So I'm looking at him. How many Joe Benignos can there really be?
I know, it's so
And-
funny, right?
And I'm like, this doesn't sound like him, but it sort of looks like him, but it's radio, so you don't really know what he looks like. And then you have no relation to the Joe Benigno from the New Jersey Housewives.
Nope, just a coincidence. Yep.
How many Benignos are there?
It's funny, right? I don't know.
I mean, look
There
at that
he
guy.
is.
Now that is like a perfect 10 right there. My
It was
God.
very
There.
cute to see that picture because I feel like you and your dad look so much alike.
We
In
do.
like,
Picture.
like that's this. It's like copy paste, but in such an interesting way because
It's true.
like you don't look alike, but you look identical.
I know. And then if you saw
Damn.
my mom, you would say that too. So it's weird. It's like I am exactly the same as both of them. It's weird.
That's funny.
All right, so what do we got today? We got sidebars. Where are we
Okay,
going?
So we have the end of both trials. So we're going to start with one and just kind of power through. We have more from the first one than we do from the second. We're starting with Michael Proctor. Hold on, let me pull it up. There's just one Michael Proctor left, and then we kind of get a smattering of, oh, you know what I want to do? Hang on one
Ooh,
second.
Michael Proctor. This is fun.
Yeah. I just want to pull it up here. Hold, please.
You know, as you're doing that, it's weird seeing all the text messages and signal messages which you can never retrieve from Karen's phone. Everything was Proctor, and you sort of
I
get in.
know.
I used to do the same thing. Like all my videos were like, this is the most evil person in the world. Now, like looking back, it's not even like he was that evil. He's just completely negligent in his investigation, but he wasn't evil in any sense. He had nothing to do with the murder of John O'Keefe, just the poor investigation going forward. And yesterday I was rewatching Wendy Jill Adelson get questioned by the detective in Tallahassee. And I look at that guy and I get the chills. And I'm like, why couldn't we have just someone that was level-headed and just relaxed, but in a very sophisticated manner, get the information, then you do your arresting, not the exact opposite, like jumping to conclusion. It's just disheartening in that sense.
I mean, I feel like for me, the reason why Proctor like continues to be somebody who Karen would like think of to want to depose and why she would want to get to the bottom of Proctor is because to me, Proctor, if we figure out Proctor, we figure out the answer to like, why wasn't there a robust investigation? Like, was it just because you're incompetent and you don't know what you're doing? Was it because you were covering for somebody? Was it because you thought that Karen was guilty and planted taillight and then you were kind of stuck in your own conspiracy? Like, what is it about Proctor that motivated like the police side of how weird everything was?
Yeah, I don't think it was any of that. I think he was being intentionally fucked with by Brian Higgins, Brian Albert, and Chief Berkowitz. So if I was Proctor, I would file against those guys. And you have nothing to lose right now. And if they intentionally mess with his investigation, his life could be very different. He can come on our side. Proctor is not this evil person, as I said before. So
Yeah, but-
there's a chance that occurred.
No, there's no chance of that. And the reason there's no chance of that is because Michael Proctor is so embedded in the culture. Like his mother, his sister is best friends with an Albert, right? Like has a direct connection with Julie Albert and with that whole family. You know, Chris Albert did put a picture on Facebook of the parents. The parents did say, "Oh, this is our second family." The problem is cultural. I think, to your point, like the reason that there's not an investigator like you saw in the Wendy Adelson case is because this is the culture of Massachusetts law enforcement. So I just don't see him ever turning on any of those people.
But can you
And
at least
you would
appreciate,
think, like-
hold on, if he was actually messed with intentionally by Higgins, Berkowitz, and Albert, you have to appreciate his mindset, which is obviously going to have confirmation bias, but it wasn't a fair investigation if what we're saying is true.
But he also is guilty from his own perspective of these messages. And I think that's the problem. He has a lot of like awareness of the shame that he feels. And so he's not innocent. I think if he had nothing on him, if we really had nothing on him, if he didn't write these ridiculous messages that are going to get him in a lot of trouble independent of Karen Reed, you're right. He might be more inclined to come to the other side, but I don't see that ever happening.
Yeah, that's a good point too, because people are going to make an issue if he's making racial comments or even sending pictures of victims. I get all that, but it just doesn't even come close to murder. So we're talking about two different crimes. So I can separate the two. And really the biggest issue I have with him is not the cunt, it's not everything else. It is, I have this done in 18 hours. That's the biggest thing.
Agreed.
And the girls from the forensic channel, they had two detectives on. And I actually gave that video to you, Sam. They were so adamant that the biggest thing you cannot do is rush to a conclusion. The girls weren't expecting this. And I'm sure they know that they concluded, they meaning Proctor, that this was done in 18 hours. And they even say, when I have a younger detective come to me, slow the fuck down. We have to get all the facts first as much as we can reasonably before we make a decision.
Yeah. Yeah, they tried to spin it. I thought that was cute on their part. They're like, yeah, you guys on YouTube all did that. It's like, okay, dear. Right. Of course, because we didn't have two trials to go through to analyze all the evidence first, but it's okay.
Well, let's see what Proctor has to say in these sidebars. Are you guys able to just change your names to the to who you're playing, just in case anybody comes in late that they're it's easy.
I'm doing the defense, right? Is that what we're doing?
And Vince, your Lally got
Loophole Lally.
Yeah. Oh, Loophole Lally. I
like
that. Your Lally got rave reviews last time, and I completely
you were good,
agree.
Lally.
You were really good.
I'm not even close.
Your man.
Now, I wanted to call Lally and see if he would do an interview on our show. How do you think that would go?
I don't think he would ever do it, but I'd love to do it. It'd be great.
And there's no harm in trying.
And same thing with Hank. And then I definitely want to call over and get Chris Albert, at least on the phone. If we call D&E Pizza, will he pick up?
I don't know. Very possibly.
Yeah.
Very possibly.
And I was going to order a pie. Are you within their delivery range, Emily?
Probably. You know how like Uber Eats will do like a bigger range than just like if you order from a restaurant? Probably in like the Uber Eats range, but not the like their, if Colin does their deliveries or something.
I don't know. Fuck that. I'll have it delivered to actually, we'll have it delivered to Lucky's house. He's in Canton, right?
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, because I want to support Chris. I want Chris to come on our side, and I want Julie on our side, and I want Proctor on our side. That's the only way that he can ever free little Colin Albert, is to actually show who really did this.
Okay. Okay. So this is Michael Proctor. We're time warping back to June 10th, 2024. The good old days.
Good old days.
Can you hear that?
No.
Okay. I didn't think so. When I switched it, I had a feeling I did not do that correctly. Here Here we go.
This was a fun one, though. In real time, I remember Michael Proctor. It was just like shock and awe the whole time.
Yes. And like, I feel like you can't even explain that to somebody who like came in late and already had heard about Proctor's text. Like, hearing all of this in real time, like the part about when AJ was like, you got so drunk, you didn't know where your badge was, and you couldn't find your gun, and he couldn't find his gun. Like, yeah, that's wild.
No, there's some great moments.
Always and forever. Shout out to the trial channel. Thank you, Zach.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, here we go.
I text my wife waiting to lock this whack job up.
What are you referring to in that text, sir?
I'm referring to the arrest after Miss Reed was indicted by the grand jury.
And again, as far as the terminology that you use in that text message to your wife, why is it?
Again, unprofessional messages I should not have sent. I don't have an explanation other than they're regrettable and it's something I'm not proud of, the language I used.
May I approach to retrieve your own?
Yes. He looks
feels
mad
a lot
at
of-
Lally, like,
I was gonna say-
why did I ask that?
He's very contemptuous at everybody for this. Anyway.
But he did a good job in responding to it. It's probably
He
an
does.
8 out of 10. So many times you see witnesses fight every other little thing. This is what you have to do. Actually, we saw it in the Corey Richards case yesterday where they brought back the woman who sold Corey the drugs. And she had like these little violations. You just have to admit to him. Were you drinking? No, I just bought the drinks and I was holding them. And the detective at the arena just happened to see me because she was on probation and she couldn't have alcohol. It's like, just say yes. It's okay. No one cares. Just move on. There's such a bigger thing at stake.
She said was when she said that she couldn't fulfill her community service hours. She had like 100 hours or whatever she had to do. And she was like, oh, well, I couldn't do that because like I was getting drugs for Corey Richards. And it's like, you did like one drug deal, so you couldn't do all 100 hours of your community service. Come on.
She's such an addict, though. Like, I love her for that.
And it is really nice to see that she's doing so well now.
Yeah, I like her. She's very likable.
Yeah. Okay. So while we're here, Miss Little, I'll give you back 3 of the ones. I appreciate that. What do you have, Mr. Lally? Which one is this? Okay.
This particular set of text messages is not something I was intending to use. It does not have anything to do with bias. It basically lays out self-serving comments by him and his family about Karen Reed's guilt. The fact that she was drunk, the fact that she is the person who did it. Basically a character assassinate. She's guilty. They talk about the GoFundMe pages for the family.
So we have the document in front of us. We can do pages based on the fact that the defendant does not intend to get anything in here. How do you think you can get this in, Mr. Lally?
I can move on. That's fine.
Okay.
I don't need to.
All right. So there's that.
Thank you. That was easy. This is your copy.
No, this is my copy.
Oh, so it's ours. Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
That was easy.
That nice civil discussion.
Well, I
That's
think she
interesting,
let a
though.
lot go during this. Like, the judge was pretty lenient on what came in around him, around Proctor.
She had a different attitude about Proctor than she did with anybody else that they were trying to like protect.
Definitely.
Please indicate who's speaking.
So I started out, of course, it's undetermined. She was a whack job. Attributed Chico.
lies.
Dear God, WTF. What the hell is inconclusive about the whole thing?
And as far as your indication there, as far as she was a whack job, who are you referring to there?
Miss Reed.
Lally's like,
Now, as
no,
far as
no, you
the
weren't.
undetermined of what you're talking about, what is sort of the content or the context of this conversation?
That would be the manner of death was determined to be undetermined by the medical examiner's office.
And so I ask you again, as far as your reference there in the bottom of the first page, as far as she was a whack job, whom do you believe you're referring to there?
Again,
Reed or the medical exam?
Ms. Reed.
May I approach, Your Honor?
Yes.
No, you weren't.
It could be plausible that he defined Karen as a whack job and potentially was referring to her as that throughout the entire course. So there is a chance. I
In
don't
that
necessarily
moment,
think,
he thought he was telling the truth, you're saying.
or even for real thought. It seems obviously that he's referring to the medical examiner, but
He was
if you're instead of
medical
replacing Karen with you're assigning Karen to whack job. And sometimes, like, if someone's crazy, oh, yeah, of course something happened because that person's crazy. It's like something to that relation. But
Have you
I do
seen the
believe
medical examiner? Do you know who
Yes.
she's talking? Okay. It's the medical examiner he's talking about, though. Whether or not he remembered that then, I think, is probably for debate. I don't remember the context. We have to go back and look much more closely at it. But I think he just didn't want to admit that he was talking about the medical examiner.
Yeah,
in that
obviously.
moment.
That's what he's doing there. But even if he did want to call her that, that's fine, right? So you said it, and if you did, it's better just to say, yeah, I was referring to her as the whack job, because you don't have to give it. Just say yes, and things move on quickly from that, because it doesn't matter. The real issue is, look at the Chico and him. This should have sent off red flags everywhere. I said it before, that their system needs to have something in place when you have a homicide and the medical examiner doesn't want to classify it as a homicide. In fact, it should go right up to the fucking chief. What else is that bald head doing, or whoever's the chief at the time, right?
Of course.
They should have to really intervene at this point, because this is a huge thing. How many murders do you have in your state, Emily, where the medical examiner is not saying that it's actually a homicide?
Right.
The only thing that I've always been kind of perplexed about that is that we still do contend that it was a homicide. You know what I mean? So it's like, it wasn't a homicide in the manner that the police were contending it was, but we are here arguing that it was a homicide. They just prosecuted the wrong person, right?
Yeah.
And so that's something I've always been kind of confused about. Like, was she saying it's not a homicide in the way that you are describing that the events happened? And like, that feels like that should be noted, because it wasn't like, yeah, I mean, I guess, yeah. Anyways, that's
Yeah,
just,
I think the
I know
question- she
exactly what
didn't-
you're saying.
Yeah, go
She
ahead.
explains it when I said the medical examiner explains it, the cause of death, and then the manner and cause. I did do this in one of my videos, and I can't remember really the distinction. I know that the manner and cause are obviously different, and it was unknown as opposed to the homicide. But Emily, you're saying that they're putting forth he died via car accident. That's sort of the manner or the cause, and then the manner. Something, and I'm not even explaining it correctly because I can't.
Like, we're still saying that it was a homicide. We're not arguing that it wasn't a homicide. We're here saying the wrong person was tried for the homicide, but we're not.
Can we
saying
look that up, Emily? You're good at this. Like,
Wait,
and let Chad just.
It was the
determine
manner of
the
death
difference.
that she
manner
did. It was
v cause.
undeclared, right? It was undecided. No, it was.
Why don't we clarify? Slow down and clarify.
Want to rewatch that part?
No.
Please indicate who's speaking.
So I started out, of course, it's undetermined. She was a whack job. Contributor Chico responds, "Dear God, WTF, what the hell is inconclusive about the whole thing?"
And as far as your indication there, as far as she was a whack job, who are you referring to there?
Miss Reed.
They're just such incredible morons. I mean, that's like the problem here, right? They're just incredible morons.
The content or the context of this conversation.
That would be the manner of death was determined to be undetermined by
the manner of death. So the
So
cause was the blunt impact. So the cause was like what
Right.
actually killed you. Like, you had a blunt force trauma to your head. She said hypothermia.
And she said
Turns out
hypothermia.
no.
Okay.
Right.
What
so
are the
the
options
cause
for
was
manner
not-
then?
Yeah, but we're contending that the cause was blunt force injury and the manner was because it was a homicide. Somebody did it to him. Like it,
Right.
undetermined kind of implies that like it could have been like a slip and fall or like a, and I guess that's what she might have been saying, that like she had no way. Yeah, I don't know. That just has always kind of confused me.
Well, yeah, I guess she's
She
saying that
said-
this is not consistent with a car accident.
That is what she was saying.
When you examine the whole body, it's not
Right, but
consistent
then
with a car.
saying it's undetermined is not saying it's not consistent with a car accident. It's saying it's undetermined if it was a homicide or something else, right?
But
Because
they're
I think she
presenting it to
split the
her
baby.
as a car accident.
Yeah,
Sort
yes.
of,
I think
yeah.
that is what I think Dr. Scordi-Bellow held on to undetermined because she didn't want to be complicit in something that she didn't see in her examination. So even if she, like if they had come with other evidence about like something that had happened in the house and given that evidence, I feel like she would have ruled it a homicide.
I would agree.
Were you disappointed with her at all with her testimony?
Well, only after hearing Dr. La Posada was I kind of like, oh, it seems like you missed some things that Dr. La Posada picked up on. But in the moment, I didn't feel like I wasn't like concerned that she was covering up anything that she shouldn't have been.
I felt she was holding back a lot, meaning she wasn't being completely frank with what was going on and sort of protecting the state in her mind, which is not what you should be doing. You should be telling us exactly what you see and not be restricted. I just felt she was being restricted as a witness.
What gave that away? The fact that she kept her eyes closed throughout the entire testimony that she gives? Was that what gave it away? No.
I don't.
She literally.
What
keeps
gives
her
it away
eyes
for me
closed.
is whenever a woman hyphenates their name, I get a little suspect. So I start off with a bias.
She was very
I actually
defensive.
thought, remember in one of the document dumps, we saw an email from Dr. Scordi-Bellow to Proctor, and she basically had said to him something like, please email me everything that you were saying on the phone yesterday, as in like what you were saying to me on the phone. I want a paper trail of it because like I'm not quite on board and I want to make sure that I have it in writing what you're trying to get me to say.
Yeah, and even with that, it's just like, just be honest about things. You don't have to even be coy when you're asking for that. Just say, I don't believe that this is what occurred, but if you have something else, show it to me. But I just felt like when she was testifying, she was holding back.
But this is part of the problem with their system. Like, she works inside the DA's office too. That's part of the problem. She literally has an office across the hall or down the hall from the police. That's why this whole system is so flawed, because they're actually working on behalf of Michael Morrissey. She was scared of them. I would agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess that, and that goes to the system and how it's set up.
Totally. That was the problem.
Jackson.
Your Honor, there's portions of this that I have no problem with. There's portions that appear to be tabbed by Mr. Yannetti. I'm sorry, Mr. Lally, that appear to be bad character evidence of the defendant and nothing more.
So I did not see a copy of this today. That's okay.
If we just, there's only 4 tabs or 3 tabs. I think we can.
Why don't you tell us what you intend to get into with this witness, Mr. Lally? I did read this yesterday. I know it's part of the exhibits of the grand jury.
Starting at...
You have to keep your voice up.
Sure. Starting at the bottom of page 2644, more references to medical condition. There is some reference to the statements that she made back at the Milton Barracks, which is already in evidence.
So now you're on page
2645.
So you intend to get into that whole page? Are you objecting to this?
From, I don't know what. It was on BWC. I don't know what that means.
Body-worn camera.
Sorry. From the BWC coming down underneath it. I don't have any problem. And I was probably going to bring up some of this.
Okay.
It's the previous page that I think threw me off.
All right. On page 2644, what do you intend to get into, Mr. Lally?
Just his communication there.
I'm going to allow that.
I don't care about that.
Also, this is about some of these I think I did out of order or something. I'm sorry, but this is about the video of Karen saying, what do you call it? John was pulverized. My tailor was cracked, and John's face was pulverized, or whatever. Anyways, okay. So the other two tabs, one tab.
The last one goes.
Page numbers.
This is, I think, 2646. She seemed more concerned about.
That's on the body-worn camera, right? It's not in evidence right now, but that was something you saw?
Well, no. It's a comment that he believes in his mind. She's more concerned with her outfit than being arrested, I see. That's just bad character. And then he follows it with, fuck her and she's crooked. Right. This is the arresting video.
She's cooked.
Sorry, cooked.
All right, hold on.
None of this is relevant.
I agree on your case in chief. Those 3 lines on page 2646 cannot come in.
Okay, I mean, based on the representations, that's fine.
All right, all set?
Sure.
Thank you.
That was interesting. Did we see the body camera during the trials?
I didn't remember that coming into this trial.
Me neither.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
Why it didn't come in?
It should have on the defense side.
But why?
Right? I think in the first trial, the defense thought that it was going to be an easy win. And then by the time they got to the second trial, they were just so focused on John was not hit by a car and that Lexus did not hit a person, that anything that felt like kind of outside noise, they just stayed away from.
Yeah, and that's the smart move, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
It was interesting in the production that Corey got that the pictures that they take at those barracks are so high resolution when they actually book Karen that if you try and open them, they take your entire screen up. They're so high resolution. I once posted the picture of Karen with her cuffs on, but it's crazy how great some cameras can be in your state and then how bad some others can be.
Mm-hmm.
Recognize this document?
I do, sir.
Same document that you were shown, copy of the same document that you were shown by Mr. Yannetti, correct?
Mr. Lally.
Mr. Lau.
You messed that up so many times.
Right. Is that an accurate reflection of the text messages that you were exchanging with Chris Moore, Jeff Kakowski, John Fanning, Vito DiCicco, and Yuri Buchanan?
Yes.
I'd ask that this be marked.
Okay, any objection?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
My man Lally coming in.
This is what we're getting into now.
Yeah.
I love this picture.
So, for anybody who's not looking at your screen, we are getting into the text message where Michael Proctor received a very handsome old photo of David Yannetti that says, "The big story, David Yannetti, criminal defense attorney." And then Proctor responds, "I hate that man. I truly hate him."
Why do you think Proctor would write that?
Because he's a moron? Who
No,
really
is
felt
it because
that way?
was this after he thought that he was stalking his sister, or was it something else?
No, this was before that. I think that he hates Yannetti because in his mind, they were going to upcharge Karen. They were going to charge Karen. She was going to take a plea deal. None of this was ever going to come out. Nothing was ever going to go to trial. And every single bad thing that has happened to Michael Proctor since Karen hired David Yannetti is because she didn't take a plea, because she chose to fight this. And like, who is the metaphor of Karen trying to fight this? It's her attorney.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting, but I mean, you deal with that as a officer every day. It's just odd to write that you hate a man. It's so extreme.
Michael Proctor's not like the most evolved human.
Right.
Okay.
Like
Yeah.
he's not analyzing his own like self and his own feelings towards people the way that some people might.
He's not.
Your Honor, the objection is, as far as all the communications are concerned, neither I nor counsel know what the entirety of the conversations are, other than each one of these conversations seems to have a list of multitude of text communications that are contained within a specific chain, which are clearly not representative of the entirety of what has been provided. So if you're going to take what someone else selected, not as different text messages, I don't even know if they were all the text communications between these people on that particular date and that it's referencing to. What do I know? What I do know is that if there are, 851 text messages, let's say in a given chain, and we've provided 20, I don't see how that's a fair and accurate portrayal of the text communications between these parties.
What is it exactly that you want in?
I want this entire document in. I want the jurors to see the whole document, and I'll refer to specific portions just as Mr. Lally has referred to specific portions.
All right. I would not have let in the photo, but Mr. Lally brought it up. I mean, that doesn't go to bias towards an attorney and bias in the...
No, we don't have any problem with it.
To the prosecution.
And we don't believe that the bias is against Mr. Yannetti.
You just want it in because it's an old picture. It's a flattering picture, Mr. Yannetti.
Now, I can tell that I look very much older than that, so I'm not sure I want it in.
This extraction was done by whom?
Defense.
And this was all that they gave you?
Correct.
So...
And I've got the exact same documents that Mr. Yannetti just used, and he picked and chose those. Mr. Lally.
Mr. Lally.
Again, I'm not Mr. Yannetti.
It's just so funny that AJ messed that up every time.
It is. I'm sorry. Both of you should be offended. I'm really sorry. I don't know why that's in my head. This is the exact same set of documents that Mr. Lally just used and picked and chose certain excerpts from to read. The jurors are entitled to see the actual document. There's no hearsay issue. It's been authenticated. It's true and accurate. They can see it in his own writing in terms of an iCloud extraction.
It's not his writing. It's his typing.
His typing, his words.
So do you intend to do this with all of the path extractions or portions of extractions?
Everything that I have in a packet form, I intend or I have my goal is to mark and put into evidence, and then I'll refer to certain of the communications just as Mr. Lally did. My only difference is I want to show the jurors the actual document. All
right. I'm going to let you do it for this one. And you won't have time to do more than one today.
No, I'm not. I'm going to do this one.
And let me think about the others. But you do intend on every one of them to put the entire document into evidence?
Correct. And there's about 7, 6, maybe less, 5, something like that.
All right. So I'll hear you on any objection to that. Okay. But why doesn't this go to the weight instead of its admissibility?
Well, my other issue, just as far as how that's constituted the word confidential, I think needs to be blackened out.
I agree with that.
I just can't do that.
No, I know. But Miss Little's already done it with...
confidential.
Yeah.
It's on every page.
I thought you meant defense counsel.
No, you can't do that, but on the top of every page.
We can do that, certainly. We can do that overnight. It's not a problem.
All right, so...
And I can have Mr. Bates draw it up.
Okay, all right. So your copy's going in or Trooper Proctor's copy's going in?
Trooper Proctor's copy.
Okay, all right. So we'll mark this over your objection, Mr. Lally. And now we're
Poor
moving on to
Ooh.
Brian Tully.
Brian, my
There's actually
favorite
not
person.
very good sidebars with him, though. His testimony was so
remember.
quick.
Yeah, there wasn't many sidebars, I feel like, with him.
Indicate 2 different locations for that device. In other words, the start time, it was on the first
They could
arc,
have nailed his ass and they didn't.
it was on the second arc.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Somewhere on those 2 arcs.
He gets, so I don't know if Jackson didn't have time to really explore this further, but he gets caught lying about the photos that were admitted the day before with Lally on direct. And I don't know if he's lying or if he doesn't remember correctly, but the photo, he doesn't remember correctly what was in evidence or what was put into evidence the day before. He misrepresents how many pieces are found at the scene. They could have destroyed him on the way he took pictures. This could have been a much more robust cross-examination than it was.
Yeah, Tully's such an intentional person compared to a Proctor who's more just a negligent person.
Right.
And you could definitely tell the difference between the two. He's very intentional. So if there's a mistake, most likely it was intentional.
Mm-hmm. And he's not a great witness.
Using the range.
He's not great at this.
And
he's poor. He's very hostile and combative.
Moved from the first arc to the second arc, correct?
yes.
Right. You're familiar with, obviously, the formula to determine speed using distance and time, correct?
Yes.
All right. Can you calculate for us the speed that the device would have traveled to go from the first arc to the second arc over a distance of 0.15 miles in 4,000ths of a second?
Not off the top of my head.
Okay. Let me see if I can help. So speed is calculated as distance divided by time, right?
Yes.
That's
I have
creepy
no
the way he
idea.
said yes.
I have no idea.
Yeah, he has no clue either.
0.15 miles by 4,000ths of a second, you come up with 37.5 miles per second.
Oh, look at him looking to object.
Can you do the calculation in your head?
No, sir.
You need a calculator?
I would.
Your Honor, if
I'd like to see counsel at sidebar, please.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
You know what Bev is about to do? Spoiler alert. She's about to waste a ton of time because that exchange could have just been, here's a calculator. But instead, let's see what happens. So what was your objection, Mr. Lally?
As far as I'm as far as I'm asking the witness to do a calculation, he can ask the witness as far as whether he did, asking him to do some demonstrative, I can't see this, Emily, hold on one second.
Sorry, demonstration. Sorry.
Demonstration or performance is beyond that.
The witness was called as an expert. He was qualified as an expert, and he was deemed an expert during direct examination. He's indicated that the device, I just set the foundation, he indicated that the device moved from 1 point to a second over a certain distance over a certain time. I don't need him to do a calculation. If you give me leave, I can do I've already done the calculation, obviously. You know I don't ask a question I don't know the answer to.
Right.
I don't want to have to put him through doing math. But if he is the expert, he should have to do it. If he needs a calculator, I'll give him my cell phone. He can do the math. It's easy.
Which do you prefer? It will come in. I don't like demonstrations without any notice of it. There is an objection to it. It's argumentative. But if you're testing his ability here or you're challenging him as an expert on something, I'll let him ask the numbers. So just to clarify, so what Tully's trying to say right here is that he was purporting that Karen went over to 34 Fairview like in the morning before Jen McCabe's house, and he figured that out by her cell phone tower, which tower it was pinging off of. And
Okay.
Jackson is showing that no, your cell phone will just sometimes like switch towers.
Mm-hmm.
Based on like which one has better signal strength or whatever. I'm not an expert. And if what Tully was saying was possible, she would have traveled something like 365 miles per hour in under 1.2 seconds, whatever the actual numbers are. And he's not trying to say to prove that Tully's dumb. He's not trying to do a demonstration about how to solve for X when you're trying to figure out speed. He's literally just trying to say, no, what you're testifying to is not accurate.
Yeah, and generally the courts won't allow you to do that. I didn't realize that he was sworn in as an expert for this particular issue, which is a different situation where you can have experts do the calculations. I get where Alan Jackson is going. Obviously, the punchline is going to be the 390 miles an hour, so it's impossible.
Well, and the point is, like, Jackson's not letting him get away with just saying, like, oh, I don't know, because when you do that, then you don't have to get to the crux of it, which is what you are testifying and what you are saying Karen did is not accurate.
Do you get nervous when they start handing someone's cell phone to a witness? Because I wouldn't want my cell phone being handed to a witness, considering all the pictures Samantha sends me.
Cute.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, do you ever get weirded out, though? Because it's an open cell phone. Like, if you hit someone's pictures.
Somebody texts you in the moment.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
something.
if I'm giving my phone, I'm sure that I've already calculated the possibility that if there's anything you don't want him to have, then you won't give it to him.
Yeah, it's just weird, though. I just get weirded out because this happens a few times during the trial where they hand over cell phones, whether it's for the stupid light with Matt McCabe, the big dope.
Yeah.
I can't see any of the exhibits.
Matt McCabe. I expect he might say, I don't know.
I'll let him use his own cell phone to do whatever he wants.
Sure.
And then this is following the sidebar. Please close the loop.
He's like,
So Tully, do you happen to have your cell phone with you?
I thought you were going to ask the other question first with your numbers.
I can. Let me ask you, so you don't have to sit there with a cell phone in front of you. Let me ask you if you would agree with this, that 0.15 divided by 0.004 is 37.5.
I have to write it out. I'm not sure. I'm sorry.
If you had a calculator in front of you, could you do it?
I could.
You don't have your cell phone with you.
I do not.
With the court's permission, I've got mine right here. I can turn it on. Or my co-counsel has one.
How about, can you use Madam Court Reporter's cell phone and do that? She's closest.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you.
So
she has a calculator.
25 minutes later.
Thank you, Your Honor. If you could divide 0.15.
He does the dividing. There's the map. Blah, blah, blah. Anyway.
Oh, so he does do it. He does do the math.
Yeah, and then he says, that wouldn't have been possible driving, and that's that.
Does Bev not allow them to use some form of even a whiteboard at all? Because it's so much more impactful if you can see it, and he could have done this math beforehand. I don't really see them using. We saw it in the trial that Melanie Little was covering, and that
Edric
guy was
Faust.
Yeah, love the way he used the visuals. I love
that.
seeing the visual. I love visual. Even if it's basic, it's great.
Mm-hmm.
I once did a visual, and it was so great because it was an arbitration. So it was 3 arbitrators, and I was going against DLA Piper, and I had this great visual. The attorney literally walked up around everyone and started crossing out my things as he was asking my witness. It was so great how he utilized my great demonstrative. I'll never forget it. That son of a bitch.
Yeah, she did not allow a lot of the demonstratives. That was something that Karen complained a lot about after the trial, that was a real problem for them because, and I was talking about this actually earlier today, like a lot of the trouble with trials is that as a juror, all of us out here, we get everything and we can go through it. But if you're sitting in that jury, you don't necessarily see how all the pieces of evidence fit together because it's drawn out over time. There's sidebars, there's delays. And I think the demonstrative was what the defense tried to use. We're hoping to be able to use, but she didn't let them.
100%.
Mark.
And Emily, can we give these people their rightful due? Just don't throw these super chats up. We want to read them.
We can go back to them in a little
Samantha.
bit. I just want no. I was intentionally not interrupting her. We can go back to those after. I just wanted to also make sure that people knew that we were seeing them.
Oh, we've got a goal. That's exciting.
We read them. Yeah, we hit the goal.
We'll read them in a little bit. I didn't want to interrupt.
So you just want to just flash them up there for no reason?
No, we'll go back and read them at the end or in a break or something. But I just wanted to acknowledge and show my appreciation in the moment as well.
Yeah,
on the record.
And Verizon gives you an in time, correct?
Yes.
And last distance, correct? Yes. And you created your arc based on the start time and first distance versus the in time and last distance, correct?
No, the time weren't associated.
If you're saying no is because that would require the device to travel at 135,000 miles an hour.
Objection. If the witness could please answer the question.
So let him finish.
Sure.
And then the objection to that is sustained. You can ask it differently.
Go ahead.
The times were not part of the depiction of the range. While I will suggest to you that it is probably unbelievable that those are actually start and end times. What I'm saying is we don't know for certainty that that is the exact time, the first distance and the last distance. I'd have to look back at the records, but I also say that we have corroborating evidence to say that that is accurate.
So you'd have to look back at the records, correct?
Yes.
That is your record.
No,
That's what you looked at, isn't it?
the record's key.
And where's the records key?
They were provided by Verizon.
Where are they, sir?
I don't have them in front of me.
Right. That's all.
I mean, this is absurd, right? You're testifying. It's just absurd. You're testifying that, oh, this is absolutely what happened. It's an enormous, important detail. And, oh, I have to go back and look. I mean, it's just like, there's such
But Sam, it goes to your point how I've been in this case pretty heavily. I have no idea what the fuck they're talking about. So there's no way that the jury understands unless you're seeing the arcs, you're seeing the time, and you're seeing the math. This is all, yeah, it's theater for Alan, but it's not helping at all for the jurors. I get what Alan's point is, but it's not effective in the way he delivered it because the oral word is okay, but you want to see what he's talking about.
I feel like those moments for a jury just go to kind of like the credibility, like whose side are you siding with?
Yes.
In the testimony as a whole. So you're kind of like reading both of their body language and you're seeing like who feels like they're being honest and like who you kind of like more in those moments rather than like internalizing. And also you never know, there might be like a Verizon employee on the jury or something that like does get it.
That's a great point too. Even though you don't understand what they're saying, you get the feel that this guy is being combative, not truthful. Yeah, that's
something
a good
about
point
his
too.
eye contact was very creepy. I don't think I even realized that until like right this moment where he's like, yes. And he's like, don't ask me another question or else.
Because they were all, I think they were all trained. If you watch all the cops, like they well, obviously not Proctor, but he's very controlled, almost like militant. And so I think his eyes are intense because that's where all of his kind of emotion is oriented in that moment because he's trying to control the lower half of his body as he's sitting there.
Yeah. But I'd say that Proctor comes off way better than him overall.
I agree.
Even with all he has against him. I mean, Proctor's not denying every single thing. He's just admitting to it. And that's what you have to do. He is not authentic, this guy, Tully, on the stand.
Yeah.
All right, now let's read some of these questions we have, Emily, now that you burned through them.
We don't have any questions yet. Let's go. I want to get into, I want to get to like.
All right, well, let's do that later.
No,
let's finish this.
But very quick, Your Honor. You said.
I can't win with these guys.
We have a lot of
Just very
Sidebars
quick, Your Honor. There were the certified weather records that I had put in, I think.
Yes. You made your objection to this yesterday. It's coming into evidence.
My objection is that is not a record that I believe should come into evidence under Massachusetts law. It's required to be sent directly to the court. They haven't followed the proper procedure.
I'm going to let this in. So your objection is noted. Wait.
Okay.
Madam Court Reporter, we'll have these as the next two exhibits. That will be exhibit 578 and 579. All right. What's the objection, Mr. Lally?
My issue is its portions of the records. If he wants to put in its entirety of the records, go ahead. But just putting in one row from the call detail record is not an accurate depiction of what it is.
What do you say, Mr. Jackson?
It's absolutely an accurate depiction of what it is. This is a record from 5/18. I'm not worried about what happened at 12:30 p.m. or 3 o'clock. I'm worried about what happened at 5/18. This is what he based his knowledge.
He's already testified to every single thing that's on this, correct?
Correct.
Okay, this is coming into evidence. So, Madam Court Reporter, that is the next exhibit. That will be Exhibit 579. Is there anything else?
No.
Okay, did you need that? Is that why you wanted it now, or was it just sort of housekeeping?
No, it was just sort of hanging out there, and I didn't want to leave it before the witness got off the stand.
Yes, okay. So we will continue with the next witness.
Yes, Your Honor.
Even Bev is like, why
And
are
how
we
come you don't
here?
smell your armpits when you do your thing? I gotta get my lights.
Oh my God. Oh.
Okay, so now we're on Jessica Hyde.
Whoa, she's fun. Ay, ay, ay. Jessica Hyde.
Wall file is at the time of extraction.
Oh my God. This is like traumatic to watch again.
I need a background on this.
Okay,
I don't
so
know who
this
she
was
is.
the day that a juror was accidentally shown on one of the live streams, and Bev had a full conniption and almost like sent everybody home and closed down court for life and said never come back here ever again, and then ended up saying, okay, she can appear on Zoom and we can just show her from the chin up.
I don't understand that. How come the witness has to be on Zoom?
Nobody really understood. You're right in the same mindset that everybody else was in the moment.
So I don't know who Jessica Hyde is, and the only reason I don't is I promised you a long time ago that I wouldn't watch any of her until we covered it somewhat together, because I think it has something to do with whatever she does. Why is she wearing that headscarf?
Because that's what she does.
Yeah.
No, is it
Jessica
religious?
Hyde. Probably.
But what religion?
Good question.
That didn't come up in her testimony.
You never looked into any of this?
I never cared enough to look into it, honestly.
Really?
It just means that Safari in this
She's
instance
interesting.
was still running when the extraction was done. Most of you, when you use your phones, you leave the applications up. So because of that, we have a wall file, and so that wall file is going to contain the data that's been requested to be deleted and new data. Now, when I say deleted in this instance, I don't mean like you as a user saying delete this old text message. What I mean when I say deleted in this instance is removed from the database.
Right,
So
somebody
when we're
else
talking
removed it from
about
the database is what she means.
like a Safari tab, deletion from the database can occur because you close the tab. We all open tabs when we use our browsers on our phone, and we all close them. And so closing in that instance would be
I want to shoot her in the face. I'm sorry, I do.
But what that's doing is not a user requesting deletion. So I just want to be clear on that term.
Maybe.
As far as, so when you say something has been deleted specifically with reference to the write-ahead log or the wall file, that's not something that's necessarily initiated by the user themselves, correct?
Correct. And I think that's a common misconception. Yes.
She just has this arrogance, like she's placating in every moment. It's really obnoxious.
And it's like, oh, you dumb regular people that don't understand this. Well, I do.
Right. That's
Girl is
exactly
so
what it is.
mean.
No, she's a pathetic human being who lies with every breath that she takes as a shill for the Commonwealth. So this isn't mean. It's just what happened. Sorry.
Racist.
We are very hard at sidebars because we need to do the white noise, which makes it very difficult for Madam Court Reporter to hear.
Understood.
So keep your voice up, Mr. Lally.
I will. Your Honor, so what I was going to flag for the court is Ms. Hyde, within her report, has a couple of different tables which I intended to use as chalks. But I just wanted to get the court's permission before I asked it for them to be displayed on the screen.
Okay.
I don't have a problem with that. But while we're at sidebar, Your Honor, I'm sensitive to Mr. Lally leading the witness. The last question was a leading question. I'm not inclined to object after every leading question, and to prolong the process, I would just ask that he refrain from leading.
Refrain from leading.
Thank you.
Yes, Your Honor. You should have yelled.
He does
there.
so much leading. He's so leading. He leads everything.
Yeah, but
It's
you're
terrible.
allowed to lead your witness if it's a very basic thing, especially with background information. And then you have to always wonder, as the attorney, if you keep objecting, is it even worth it? every question that gets objected and sustained, you should be able to figure out a way to ask that question anyway. So then it really becomes strategic, most of your trial objections.
I understand objections and like sidebars better now, but I think before I was like immersed in all of this, if I had been on a jury and there was one attorney objecting a ton over the other, I would think that they were hiding something or that they were trying to make it. Yeah, they were trying to make and like I think it could be interpreted the other way as like the side they were objecting to was trying to get in evidence that they weren't supposed to, but I don't think I would have seen it that way. I think I would.
I think I agree.
Like, what do you not want me to hear? And then I would try to like fill in the pieces, which you're not supposed to do. But like, I think that's human nature.
It makes it feel more important. It makes it feel like what they're about to say might be more important than it actually is, right?
Exactly. And now we're at Joe Paul.
Mm-hmm. When I got the directions, we got from 34 Ferry Road to 1 Meadows Ave, and when I put that address onto Google, it gave me suggested routes. So I put each suggested route on there and the time it took. So I did that with every direction from 1 Meadows Ave.
Wait, do you guys think the defense knew what this was going to be? Did they know beforehand who Joseph Paul was, or were they just like, this guy when he got on the stand was like the first time they had ever seen him?
I don't think they knew. And even if they had done their research about like if they had seen other testimony or read other transcripts, I have a feeling that if you brought Joe Paul into a case that was a very clear, like you could plug in the distance and the car and the this and the that into the formula that he knows, the Searle formula, that he would actually be able to testify clearly. Like he would say, we knew that the accident started at the light. We know that it finished here. I measured, that was 72 feet. We calculated, like normally he's not being forced. My defense of Joe Paul is that he was being asked to do math that is impossible. And they brought him to a scene of a car accident that didn't happen, and they asked him to recreate an accident that is impossible. And he's trying to fit in, how can this man get dog bites on his arm from the taillight of a car and also end up over here where the force shatters and he doesn't have the like acumen to do the recreation that Arca can. But
that's true.
He was really put in an unfair position.
And there was a tremendous number of eyes on this, and he knew it, right?
Yes, and our first commercial break is going to be Fervent's new song, Pirouette Boy. If you haven't heard it yet, you are in for a treat.
Oh, that's so exciting.
Yeah, but it's like he was on Jeopardy at being asked an impossible question when he was only ready for like, are you smarter than a fifth grader?
Mm-hmm. Lane and 12 Country Lane to 1 Meadows Ave, and then 1 Meadows Ave to 345 Country Hill Drive, North Dighton. So I did that for every single one and find suggested routes.
I'm not sure, Emily.
On all these boxes here, and then at the bottom here, I did a total distance, and I did a min and a max distance of. The minimum was 36.1 and a max distance of 38.8.
All right, so I'm going to ask you to take that down for a minute.
He couldn't read min. He couldn't read min distance.
I mean, I wasn't saying that he's like the smartest, most capable man in Massachusetts. I just don't think, like when you were asking if they knew what they were getting into, I don't think that he looked this incompetent in other trial. Like if you read the transcript of another trial, I bet he comes off like a little doofy, but not
not like this.
I also, he could have, like, he looked like he was panicking 50% of the time that he was on the stand. And I think that does do something to your brain where you're like, can't even think clearly about the things that you do know because you're in such tizzy.
Yes, but I also wonder how much of that was because he knew that what you're talking about. He wasn't sure about what he was saying. I never considered the possibility that he was lying throughout this. But then Periscope did because he's so incompetent. I just never dismissed him altogether. But then Periscope did a reading, and I didn't hear the whole thing, but I heard enough to be like, oh, well, this is a completely different take on this testimony and why he
Interesting.
comes across as so incompetent. Yeah, it was really interesting.
I need to go watch that.
Yeah, you should.
I just
It was
skipped that sidebar. I was basically just saying that Karen's parents' address was listed and
Now,
more Joe Paul.
Paul, at some point over the course of your investigation, over the course of this case, did you become aware of ring videos from Mr. O'Keefe's residence at One Meadows Avenue?
Yes.
And specifically, have you had occasion to see a video depicting the defendant backing out of the garage as snow was coming down?
Garage.
Yeah.
Garage.
Yeah.
Your Honor, with the court's permission, if I to the jury with the witness on the stand, it's 6, video number 53.
Objection, may reproach.
Yeah. Okay, I'll hear the objection.
This is not in any report. There's been no disclosure about what this witness is going to say about this.
Why don't I find out what it is you're going to ask him about?
What I'm going to ask him is whether or not the impact that he observes in the video is consistent with the damage that he observed in the vehicle.
It's completely outside the scope of his expertise. He didn't review the video in any scientific way. He's going to see the video the same way everybody else does. He doesn't have any knowledge about the forced impact quotients or what the force is required to crack that taillight. There's nothing.
I bet he does. That's a question of whether.
I can almost guarantee he doesn't. I'm going to ask him.
All right, so
in a different way. But why have we not been told about this before? This is yet another circumstance in which a witness clearly has been prepped in a way that we have not been given this disclosure. He's obviously seen this video before Mr. Lally showed it to him. Otherwise, he wouldn't ask the question. It seems like we're being ambushed yet again.
all right. So what I'm going to do is we'll have a voir dire. It's 20 minutes of 4. How much longer do you have with this witness?
Very briefly with this, and then just, I think, 1 or 2 more areas at the most, and then I'm going to be done.
I don't know how long that is, Mr. Lally. 20 minutes?
Yes, yes.
So it looks like you won't get to cross-examination today.
I understand. I want to lodge an objection to any voir dire about this. This shouldn't be happening in the middle, actually at the end of trial.
Okay, so I'm going to have the voir dire, and then I'll hear you. All right, so do you want me to just send the jurors out and have the voir dire and bring them back, or send them home for the day?
It's up to the court. I don't know how long the voir dire is going to take. This is the first I've heard of it.
I expect it won't take longer than 5 minutes.
No.
Okay, that's fine.
And then you can ask him when he has seen it and all those questions you want to ask him.
Sure.
All right, so it's been a very long day for me because of all the issues this morning. I don't know if it's been for the jurors.
Can I ask counsel a quick question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Your Honor, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I wouldn't have any objection if the court is inviting the jurors, the possibility of the jurors going home. I wouldn't have any objection to that. It doesn't look like we are going to get to any substantive cross-examination today.
I would not even consider it if I thought you'd have the opportunity to cross-examine and not leave it on the Commonwealth's case on a Friday afternoon, but I think it makes sense. While we're here, I'd like to tell them about scheduling. So I had said Tuesday for the voir dire now of everybody, right? So what does that look like for your Monday is the celebrate witness?
Yes.
And who else? Do you think it's going to be the whole day?
No. I think if we can finish with this witness, get Mr. Whiffen done, I think we can get at least start, if not hopefully finish with Trooper Guarino.
And what's Guarino again?
So Guarino is the defendant's cell phone, the victim's cell phone, largely cell phone extractions, some of the GPS data from the...
You're not going to finish him if you even reach him. So what do you want to do? Do you want to do it Tuesday? I wanted to do the voir dire Tuesday because Wednesday is a holiday. And especially, I know that the Commonwealth's motion is that I strike Dr. Miller.
Russell,
that I had ordered discovery to be provided within a week, and that this is a subject all of the defendants doing. It's not like the Commonwealth sprung something on the defense. It's the defendants who are bringing up the arm bites. So there will be a legitimate argument on that. It's not something I particularly want to do, but I'll be open-minded to hear the Commonwealth on that. If I don't strike the witness, I did want to give the Commonwealth the opportunity to, I don't know if you need a rebuttal witness or you at least to prepare. You're the only one asking questions, so I want to be able to do that. If we can't do that by doing the voir dire on Tuesday and giving you Wednesday, I'd be inclined to give you a day and a half, a day or a half a day if you need it. So with that, where do we fit it in with the schedule next week?
With that, I would still hope that the Commonwealth should be able to rest on Thursday if we're doing the voir dire Tuesday.
So do the voir dire on
Holiday Wednesday. I should be able to finish with the rest of the witnesses on Thursday.
Okay, does that make sense?
It does.
They talk a little more about scheduling, then they send the jury home and they voir dire Trooper Proctor.
Paul, on what?
I mean, Trooper Paul, sorry.
What was
on this?
the
So I want to go back to what they're asking. So this is what they want to voir dire him on is where Lally said, what I'm going to ask him is whether or not he observes what he observed, the impact he observes in the video is consistent with the damage he observed to the vehicle. And number one, nobody is contending that, because we're not saying that Karen's entire taillight was shattered in that moment in John's driveway, and then somehow all those pieces ended up at Fairview. So it was interesting to me that they didn't make that distinction.
Yeah, that's.
You mean the defense didn't?
Yeah.
Make that? Yeah.
And what Jackson is kind of hanging his hat on here is that that he doesn't. He's not an expert in the way that he can answer that. And he says here, he's obviously seen this video before Mr. Lally showed it to him. Otherwise, he wouldn't ask the question. It seems like we're being ambushed again. So they're saying that he was prepped. That's what they want to find out about him.
But Jackson has to realize that it doesn't matter whatever Trooper Joe Paul is going to testify to. You'll be able to defeat it. Literally anything. This guy... I love him, but he is the best witness you could ever ask for if you're Karen Reed in this trial. And we've missed probably 12 different questions. Stop telling me that there's none here, because I see. And not those funny ones either.
Okay.
Good morning.
Chandra C. 4911 sent $4.99 and said, good morning. Love these episodes. Thank you. I love your picture. That's such a cozy picture. We saw that one. American Dreamer 5867 sent $5 and said, happy face, wavy face, heart emoji. You all. Love you all. We love you too. Age of Nefarious said, we really appreciate you three. Thank you. Fire emoji, fire emoji, fire emoji. Did you ever see the show The Circle? I think that's what it's called, where the people are locked in the rooms and all they can do is message each other. It's on Netflix. They have to talk to a Siri to send their messages, and they say okay, add fire emoji, heart emoji. That's how I feel right now. Ben Burnett, you're too generous, and truly appreciate you not only for sending $5 and $20 and $5 to hit our goal.
Thanks, Ben.
But
that was nice.
Ben Burnett has my back on Twitter more than anybody else out there, and he says the snarkiest, funniest, most you can't argue with him because they're so wholesome, but they're also they cut right through these trolls. I appreciate this.
Yeah, we call that in psychology white knighting. It's when a male loves a female, and that's the way he gets her attention, by defending
and we
her.
love it. Mark Blangle 9990 sent $4.99 and said, hey guys, good to see ya.
Hi, Mark.
Good to see you, Mark.
Burnett sent $10 and said, great, we only hit 70%. Now the whole class is in trouble. Benny,
Somebody's in love.
appreciate you. Zach sent $1.99 and said, was there a goal or something? And those are your super chats.
Really?
That was that.
All right.
You're welcome,
Okay.
Vince.
Wait, how can I say remember that Colin likes to fight? Am I in a different world? Remember
Yes.
that Colin likes to fight while listening to Adele?
You're in a different
Was the beef
you
with the
are.
Advantage Boys ever settled? This is all from Mr. Burnett.
That's
We
awesome.
didn't hear that.
You're in a different world. That's not.
Click on
from this-
starred.
I am.
How can
don't
I
see
have
them.
you?
That might be from your last show. I have no idea.
Maybe.
Yeah, I don't see
Um,
those.
And Nefarious Shenanigans said I need to be a meaner Bev, and I will get into character. This part is interesting. So the next Trooper Paul sidebars are impounded. And I don't know why. If anybody has any insight into that.
Do we know when they were, or not even that? We
Um,
don't even know that.
It's after this part. So it's the questions leading up to it are Alan Jackson's on cross and says, how do you account for the fact that he didn't have a fracture? Lally says objection. Bev says sustained. Jackson says, how do you account for the fact that he didn't even have a bruise? Lally objects, asks to approach, and then the sidebars are sealed.
Interesting.
But he doesn't, that's not, I'm guessing that's outside his area of expertise, right? Because he's not a biomechanical guy, he's the auto guy.
Totally. It's just, why would that have to be sealed then? Like, we've seen that in other sidebars.
I don't know. Because he's a police officer? Could that be? I don't know.
Your guess is as good as mine. I think even Corey didn't know the answer, so I'm not expecting us to get it if Corey didn't know.
I was just curious, like, would it matter if it was a cop? Right? Like, might it matter if it was a cop versus like a government employee versus, like, me or you or somebody who isn't? I don't know.
Interesting. I don't know. Corey.
When you testified on direct examination, you said your analysis, this was on Friday.
I do love Alan Jackson.
By the way, over the weekend, did you watch anything on, I don't know, YouTube?
By the way.
No.
Nothing.
No.
Did you have any conversations with Mr.
No.
Rowley about key cycles and problems?
No.
Did you have any conversations with anybody about the issues with key cycles?
No.
Did you realize at some point between Friday and today that I was probably going to ask you some questions about key cycles?
Objection.
Did you realize that yourself?
I assumed you would ask me loads of information.
So on Friday, you didn't mention that your analysis was based on not.
Lally getting ready
Objection.
to object.
Sustained.
On Friday, did you mention that your analysis was predicated on mileage?
Objection.
I'll see you at sidebar.
Oh, interesting. Okay. I don't think I realized that. I don't think I realized that he had an opportunity to come back and say, oh, no, I wasn't going based on the key cycle. I was going based on mileage.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting.
That is interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Makes a ton of sense.
What's the nature of the objection?
First of all, yes, he did. But secondly, he's asking a question.
First of all, what?
Yes, he did mention that during his testimony on Friday, but he's asking questions about his testimony Friday, which is beyond the scope of direct.
On redirect, he asked him specifically about key cycles and what he predicated his decision on. Key cycles versus mileage. On Friday, he said he based his reconstruction on the key cycles. He mentioned mileage, but he didn't say that he was basing his opinion on mileage. He said he's basing his opinion on key cycles. I think the jurors need to hear that.
I'm not going back through all of my notes to find an example of what you did. I'll let you have that question. I'll let a very short follow-up by Mr. Lally.
Okay. Sorry.
No, that's fine.
The witness is just trying to confuse issue. He's trying to run to mileage because he knows he messed up on key cycles.
I don't think he's trying to confuse anybody.
Oh my gosh, well.
I think that he himself is confused.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
All right. So that's how we're going to do it. This one question, and then Mr. Lally gets 1 or 2 questions. And then that was that. And
Bev knows who this witness is. I mean, we see it throughout. I actually did the video today about the 2 tests that he ran at Canton PD. And Sam and I was saying, well, how do we know that all of his actions aren't the key cycles that everyone is referring to? And I wasn't sure if he was documenting this via key cycle or mileage. I know for certain the jury has no idea what the fuck we're talking about because it takes a while to understand the difference between the two. And I know Bev doesn't either. And really the attorneys don't either at this point. But it is interesting because my best friend Kevin, who wrote the book with regard to this case, hangs his entire case on the key cycles and what occurs during certain key cycles. We don't know when those key cycles actually occurred, and that's the issue with relying upon them.
And so these were, so I spent a lot of time on this a long time ago. I really tried to understand the key cycles, and ultimately, after much consternation, came to the conclusion, and if you use AI to help you, you run all of this through AI, it will tell you that the percentage of likelihood is that the key cycle that we're talking about with Karen Reed was done during Trooper Paul's testing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's the most likely.
And not the one that was backing onto the tow truck, because to me that made a ton of sense, that 1162 was the wheels kind of spinning out in the snow, like exactly what we saw in that alarm.com footage. Why do you think that it's not that one?
I'd have to go back. You know, you're asking me a really good question, but I think in the end, because of the fact that there are these 2, so that same key cycle also has all of these other events. The key cycle lasts about like 26 minutes, right? Because it's they're alleging that the key cycle came from the waterfall. It's that it's the time that Vince loves to talk about, the waterfall to the house, right? So, and the car's still running outside in front of the house. And so they took like a 30-minute time span. So the problem with that one is that the car, we don't see the 30 minutes that the car may have been operated before and after that moment. So that's why that key cycle.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, something that I always come back to about that document too is that is not the actual like extraction of data directly from the car. That is the data extracted from the car and then transcribed into a spreadsheet. And it's just Trooper Paul, I'm assuming, sitting there looking at this. It says 24, he types 24. It says 6, it says 6. And I wonder if like that even was on the data extraction like in the first place. But that's
and there's information also, by the way, missing. Like according to the Toyota people, there's stuff that should be on Trooper Paul's spreadsheet that's not there. So that's why the whole thing is just completely suspect, and we don't have enough information, like you're saying, Vince, certainly to hang our hat on the entire case there.
Yeah, but I do want to go back now that we have a better grasp of the times, meaning we saw what Corey got us, the car going in front of the library. We saw the path that Karen took. We know for certain now she arrived at 12, 24, and 38 seconds. That could change the way we view those key cycles, which I haven't viewed at all in a long time with regard to how long she was actually driving.
It just doesn't change mine because that was the Commonwealth's sort of, that's what they were asserting all along, is what you're saying now.
Yeah,
I mean, to me, the key cycles are only helpful if you want to like have a conversation with somebody who thinks that Karen hit John and you want to talk about key cycles. Because to me, if a car didn't hit John, which I don't believe it did based on his injuries, then like I don't care what her car was doing. She could have been going 24.2 miles per hour in reverse down Washington Street to get home, and I don't care because that car didn't hit John. So it has
that's the other That's the other point. There is no accident on that key cycle. So you could also even use the key cycle to make the argument that that wasn't what happened if you wanted to.
How would an accident be recorded on a key cycle if you only hit someone's arm?
Well, if you hit somebody hard enough to hit them at all, right? Hit them at all, then there should be an event that says something blocked the camera and you hit them. That's what those cars are for.
Because
that's what the whole telematics system is for.
Got it. He was saying, though, that the airbags don't deploy unless there is a sensor to the car that there's a sudden stop, and there probably is an algorithm that determines whether a crash took place. Meaning if you hit John's arm, the car is not going to slow down, most likely. It probably won't slow down at all. So you don't know if you're the airbags to deploy.
No, but it's nothing to do with the airbags, though. I mean, this car has like the most state-of-the-art sensor system there is, allegedly. And if you go and study the telematics, it gives you the full range of everything that the car can do. And this package that she had does have all the bells and whistles in terms of sensors, it's got sensors on like every angle of the car, not just the back and the front. So there should have been more information if this was actually an accident, if she had hit something. That's why none of this makes sense. Like, I just don't trust any of it because there's not enough data.
So that's
and
different
also
than what...
that the data that's collected is only meant for the purpose of like bettering Lexus. Like, it's supposed to just be sent back to Lexus to inform them about any like events that are happening and how the car is responding to the event. So like if somebody slams on their brakes, how is it responding? It's not meant to be used in court. And like, that's a whole nother conversation of like, do we need like legislation to say that every car needs to have X, Y, and Z capabilities to be able to like recreate an accident? But that's not what this data was intended for. That's why there's not a time and GPS coordinated to the events.
Correct. Yep. All true.
We're gonna take our break now, girl.
Can we take a fervent break? Yeah. And then I was going to play Trooper Paul's song, and then the I Miss Your Ass song just always makes me think of you, Vince. So we're going to do that and then come back and jump into Ian Whiffen.
Yeah, Ian Whiffen.
See you guys in a couple minutes.
All right.
Ooh,
Put your arm up. Do a little spin then. Do the pirouette boy, the pirouette boy, the pirouette boy. Put your arm out to the side and pirouette boy, pirouette boy, pirouette boy. Put your arm out to the side. They say it came from a tail light. I say I don't know, that look like a dog bite. They tell me, Paul, look the other way. Is this the first person that you frame? So I start by talking to the crime scene. And yes, I mean the actual crime scene. Lawyers asking where the body and debris. I say I can't say definitely. Jackson asked me questions and I'm supposed to feel. He wanna know how John O'Keefe got hit. So I tell him, Paul, put your arm out to the side, do a little spin that. And do the pirouette boy, the pirouette boy, the pirouette boy. Put your arm out to the side and pirouette boy, pirouette boy, the pirouette boy. Put your arm out to the side and
Damn, fervent, go crazy on that beat.
What about this piece of debris? I say, I guess he must have flown 30 feet. Wanna grill me about my degree. Go talk to one in Shannon and get back to me. Mr. Jackson, here's the situation. I don't know anything about these calculations. Yeah, I got me hyperventilating. Jackson asked me questions and I'm supposed to feel. He wanna know how the evidence got where it did. I say I got the physics knowledge of a kid. My only explanation is it just did. Pirouette boy, pirouette boy, pirouette boy. Put your arm out to the side.
Practice in fighting?
Right. Did you see them kind of in a fighting stance to each other?
I recall them grabbing each other. I don't recall them squaring up like they were fighting each other. No, they were playing a little grab ass with each other. I did see them grab each other. I don't recall a physical, hey, let's go, duke it out. I do not recall that.
Okay, so are you saying, taking you literally, that they grabbed each other's asses? Is that it?
No, I'm saying grab ass. It's a figure of speech.
Okay.
It's only 10 a.m. and I'm halfway through this flask. Got me thinking about the night and the way I grabbed your ass. Yeah. Jackson mischaracterized our mental state. Yeah. Cause it wasn't premeditation, it was simply our foreplay. I remember that drive from New York when your hand touched mine. Then you told me about Karen Reed, I lost my mind. I said, Higgy, don't forget about your bride. You said, I'll make it up to you later tonight. I miss you, I miss your ass, I miss you, give it a grab. I miss you, I miss your ass, I miss you, give it a smack. Yeah. At the waterfall you said, put your hands like this. So I grabbed you from behind and damn near gave you a kiss. You said easy there, bride. You know I'm kinda shy, but this Jameson and ginger got me feeling kinda wild. Look at John O'Keefe kissing up on my girl. Eyes on me, Iggy, you know that I'm your world. I don't know, bride, I think I'm into girls. Look, just come back to my place and give it a whirl. Don't forget about your bride. You said I'll make it up to you later tonight. I miss you, give it a grab. I miss you, I miss your ass. I miss you, give it a smack.
I recall them grabbing each other. I don't recall them squaring up like they were fighting each other. No, they were playing a little grab ass with each other. I did see them grab each other. I don't recall a physical, hey, let's go, duke it out. I do not recall that.
Okay, so are you saying, taking you literally, that they grabbed each other's asses? Is that it?
No, I'm saying grab ass. It's a figure of speech.
Okay.
I was having a lot of trouble with putting things on this damn stage.
I love that song. It's so good. It reminds me of Jodeci. I love Jodeci, so it was so good.
I mean, every single one of Fervent's songs, I want to put Fervent's link in the chat, but every single song is just like perfection, like spot on, exactly what the moment needed, exactly captures like the facts of the case and the ridiculousness of it. And
totally.
Fervent Hosp, you are a miracle worker. Did I do that right? Go follow. Okay. Back to Ian Whiffen. Here we go.
So these particular two searches were conducted at 6:23:51 and 6:24:18 respectively. They were searched using the search bar that's built into Safari. The fact that they didn't exist within HistoryDB and that there were no deleted records from history.db leads me to believe that they never successfully loaded.
May I approach again, Your
They
Honor?
never, by the way. Such an asshole, this guy.
That new document that I just handed you, do you recognize that?
I do, yes.
What do you recognize that?
This was the additional, the items from the history.db, I believe.
May I approach, Your Honor?
Yes.
I'm also seeking to introduce.
Kim.
Okay.
My objection is that report does not appear to be generated by any program. It says that the list is not exhausted. It's created in anticipation of trial, so it's not a proper business record.
I don't think that's what he was saying. It was a business record. Are you saying it's a business record?
No, I'm saying this is contained on this page in his report right there, and as well in his table that he uses, that it's from extractions of the phone.
It's hearsay, Judge. Whether it's a business record or based on whether I accept it, it's hearsay.
What do you say about that, Mr. Lally?
It's from the extractions that he conducted.
And he used it to...
He used it again to formulate an opinion or explain the items and materials that he observed during the course of the extraction. It is no different than any other exhibits that we have just come in.
All right. I'm going to allow it over your objection.
Yes.
Guarino. Or Guarino.
With some laptops.
How about the fact, can I just say, this guy so did not want to be a part of this that he literally fakes an injury to not have to be a part of the second trial. Literally.
I think the injury was
in.
real. Yeah.
The injury was real.
Yeah.
Right. But he like leans in. He's like wearing braces. He practically shows up in a wheelchair just to not have to do this. And that's how much he did not want to
I thought you were going to say he so didn't want to do it that on the stand he said, "Kill me now."
Yeah, I mean, that was the first trial, right? And then the
Yes.
second one, he shows up with this, like, I know he was really injured, but I mean, it was so funny. I think it was Aiden was like, yeah, he got up and he walked like right out of the courtroom,
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember that. What was his injury?
He got hit by a car, I think, on duty. And like that part was real, but then he milked the injury for the trial. Like very much so.
How do you rank him on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the best looking?
Of anyone in the trial, you're saying?
No,
or
just in general in life.
Hard to tell. I've not seen him like standing, moving, walking. I see him sitting in the jury box.
I asked for a number.
Emily? We're ranking Guarino?
Yeah.
I give him an 8.5.
No.
He's better looking than 85% of the people. You have to include everything. Body, hair, face.
Well, I can't see him, though, completely. That's my problem, I guess. He's cute. I think Guarino's cute.
I feel like he has the look that like all the old ladies in his life, like all the grandmas are obsessed with him. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
So his family owns a bakery right near here, and it's like the most popular bakery in the area. They do these like Italian pastries, and for every big holiday like Christmas and Easter, the line is like out the door and around the corner. And I just have a feeling that he's grown up like, if he was ever in the bakery, all of the regulars were like, "Oh, little Nicky, like you're so handsome,
definitely.
You're so beautiful. Oh, why are you still single, little Nicky? Oh, you want my granddaughter is single. Let me set you guys up." That
Totally, definitely, without a doubt.
Oops, if you hear that. Yeah, he's not bad looking. His face is very grizzled. Like he looks like he's had a hard day.
Really? You think so? I think he has had a hard day. This really tortured him, I think.
A laptop or a desktop at the home of Mr. O'Keefe.
Yes, I was.
I hope so.
And what, if anything, did you do with those?
One was a Dell laptop. The other was a HP all-in-one desktop. I removed the hard drives from both systems and used...
Objection, may be seen, Your Honor.
Okay. Also, to be fair, when he put in the piece of evidence that Karen's phone connected to John's Wi-Fi at 12:36, that really screwed the Commonwealth. And I feel like if he was wanting to be more nefarious, he would have sidestepped that somehow.
Do you think he knew though what he was doing there? I don't know that he knew what he was doing there. I don't know that he knew that Lally was going to stand up during the opening statement and say that, Karen was still out front at 12:45.
Yeah, I don't know, because you have Yannetti saying that Karen should be seen on the Canton Library video, I think at 12:40 or some other time that was past the
12:30. The missing time was 12:37 to 12:39. So they were insinuating that that's when Karen should have driven by. So he gave Karen a better timeline.
Yeah. See, not everything is a conspiracy.
Yeah.
Well, there are other things about him that are conspiratorial, just not that. But anyway, Your Honor, before we address that, somebody has got to say something to the O'Keefe, specifically to Peggy O'Keefe. Her eye rolls, her audible sighs from where I'm sitting. I just heard her say, Jesus, when Mr. Yannetti objected. I'm getting something is not getting through to her. I know the court has addressed it with the court officers and admonished both sides to knock it off. She's not. And I heard this morning that during the cross-examination of, I don't know who it was, Trooper Paul, she was audible, making noises and sighs and guffaws while I was questioning the witness. I just needed to put it on the record. It needs to stop, and I'll leave it at that.
Okay, let me address this issue.
So on this issue, Your Honor, we're in an area now where I don't believe we have a police report on this. We have no notice of this. I don't know where this is coming from.
So you have no notice of what's on their computers or that they ever seized them and looked up?
Right. So this testimony that he's currently...
What do you say, Mr. Lally?
Your Honor, this was provided probably 2 years ago. I'm a little incredulous. I don't know how counsel claims not to have a copy of this report. It's a report where he looks at that, and essentially what he has looking at was that he sees whether or not there was any connection between the devices and the ring.com, the ring devices at Mr. O'Keefe's house, which there is not.
Oh, so the ultimate conclusion here is he's going to say that he checked for a connection and there was no connection between the computers.
Yes, so the only connection is between his phone.
Between John's phone.
Between the devices.
Yeah, that's fine. I didn't know where he was going with this, but that's fine.
Spoiler alert, Proctor deleted the ring videos and they're trying to imply that Karen did. All right. So you've got mountains of discovery in this case.
Well, we did, but I would point out, Your Honor, that the very last conversation that we had about Mr. Whiffin's report was I told you it was not in there, and Mr. Lally said that it was.
Let's focus on...
No, I'm just saying, I'm not crazy for saying that we didn't get it, So in any case, it's moot. I'm fine with putting...
All right. So I'm not finding that the Commonwealth did not give it to you. I just don't want to take the time to have Mr. Lally...
Understood.
Go back and find it.
Understood.
Regarding what you said, Mr. Jackson...
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm certainly not going to say anything. The court officers can watch it, but Mr. Lally, would you ask your victim witness people just to talk to her about it?
I can, Your Honor. If I could, and I'm reticent to this, I deferred to Miss McLaughlin, but I think a record needs to be...
Quiet, folks. We're on the record.
Made in reference to the months and different things from the defendant's family that have occurred throughout the course of the trial. If there's going to be accusations leveled against the O'Keefe family, I think the record needs to be made as to all the instances of inappropriateness from the other side.
All right. So emotions are very high in this case. There's been laughing in court from the defendant's family quite a lot. There have been some sarcastic comments and other comments from counsel that are inappropriate comments. Emotions are high. We've only got another 2 weeks. Let's just get through this, okay?
I understand. I agree with the court.
Thank you.
Okay, so you don't need to
Thank
say
you.
anything.
Thank you.
And Meatball Morrissey Sketty Stains at $9.99 said, my sister was fired from Guarino's Bakery in high school for smoking the devil's lettuce inside
No
after
way.
hours.
That's amazing.
I don't know what
Mickey
devil's
there?
lettuce is.
That's awesome.
Yes, you do.
I don't.
Smoking weed.
Okay, I've never heard you use the term devil's lettuce.
No, but I mean, I'm extrapolating.
So sorry, I'm not as
No.
smart as you. Are there other questions? Or am I just getting ones from like another year?
You're
Do them,
there's
do them in bunches, girl.
okay. Fit Jade sent $1.99 and said Allie confused accumulation with illumination smart, but then also said Allie confused accumulation with illumination she dumb. So I don't know if we think that Allie is smart or dumb.
I don't know if that's, I think you're giving her a little more credit than she might deserve there. I don't know if illumination is what she heard either, right? Like, who knows what she heard? God only knows what she heard.
And Meatball Morrissey Sketty Stain sent $9.99 and said, I'm at Keller House in the Weirs getting our ice cream for the weekend. Oh yay. I'm going to Meatball Morrissey Sketty Stain's house this weekend. If Lally were to get ice cream, what would he be getting? I think Vince, you need to answer that as you are embodying.
Of course. Vanilla, of course. What if Ollie's a true freak behind the scenes?
Lally or Morrissey? I didn't see who
Morrissey.
that
I
was.
don't care. Like, Morrissey's gross. Lally's cool. What does Lally smoke?
Cigarettes? What kind?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a good
Probably
question.
like Marlboro heavies, like whatever the
Right. It's probably Marlboros.
Yeah.
You really see someone old school smoking anymore.
I know. It's weird,
It's
right?
kind of cool when someone's actually smoking as opposed to vaping.
Okay, this sidebar is before Guarino's second day on the stand.
Good morning, Your Honor. Mr. Lally on Tuesday provided basically a list and the documents that he intends to introduce or use through Trooper Guarino.
Okay.
There's one entry in particular that we are objecting to.
Do you have it with you? Why don't you grab it?
He has it. I'll just get my reading glasses up here.
Okay, maybe just keep them in your pocket.
I should, yes. But then they'd get crushed, Your Honor.
So, Mr. Lally, why don't you tell me what this is?
Your Honor, what this is part of the extraction report from the defendant's phone, with a web search history. In particular, there are web searches that the defendant does at 1 p.m. on the 29th in respect to the one in particular that I'm looking for is essentially DUI lawyers near me.
Okay.
So what I've done is I had sent this to counsel and the court just to flag it because I wanted to avoid a lengthy sidebar conference with the jury in the room. Understanding that, I think it's admissible. I think it goes, as far as the court has to consider is whether it's more probative or overly prejudicial. And assuming that counsel would object to it, I just wanted to raise it for the court before we get to this point.
I appreciate that. What's your objection?
So my objection, Your Honor, is in part based on the timing of this search because no such search was done until she received a call from Trooper Michael Proctor. Once she received a call from the state police, she didn't Google criminal defense attorneys or murder defense attorneys or homicide defense attorneys. She Googled DUI defense attorneys after having heard from the police. It did not lead to her hiring me. She didn't find me in that search, and it was only done after she got contact from the police, which, you get a call from the state police, and not only is it your right to be represented, but anybody with half a brain would.
All right. So I'm going to keep it out in your case in chief. You have to be Laura McLaughlin also, Vince.
Your Honor, if I say...
Yes.
I do have cases to support its admissibility as to probative value. I do think in this case it exceeds the prejudicial value. It's not a typical case where the defendant claims they committed an accident. The defense is that the defendant's vehicle never struck John O'Keefe. It goes to rebutting a Bowden defense. It goes to rebutting the improprieties of what the defense cites of the investigation. It's going against the allegation that the defendant has been framed. In these circumstances, the probative value does exceed the prejudicial value, and I do have 2 cases to support the admission of it from Commonwealth standpoint. Further, at this time of the search, the defendant is legally intoxicated that morning. It goes to her state of mind that she begins to sober up in the afternoon, perhaps understanding what has occurred. So I do think it's relative and highly probative to her state of mind at the time of the search is conducted. Further, it's prior to her having sat down and voluntarily give that interview to state police.
That's a different argument.
Not really. What relevance is it that somebody intends to defend the presumption of innocence? What is the inference that the Commonwealth is asking this jury to draw? They're asking this jury to draw that the police contact her. She was out the previous night, and they're asking to infer guilt or consciousness of guilt by virtue of the fact that she's seeking out representation.
I can give you citations.
Go ahead and continue, Mr. Yannetti.
Well, no. I'm just reading over the bench here, and I notice, first of all, that at least one of the cases deals with the standard of a substantial risk of a miscarriage of justice in terms of how they decided the case. I would like an opportunity to review those cases.
Sure. All right. So we can address this at the morning break. So again, Ms. McLaughlin, tell me the reasons rebutting the Bowden defense. Tell me the reasons that you think this is, because as you know, under that footnote in Samia, I have to make a little bit more of a record here. Oh, sorry, that's really small.
Yes, Your Honor. I think this is unusual circumstances that the defense has been that the defendant's vehicle never struck John O'Keefe, that she's being framed for these charges, that there is no evidence of any type of motor vehicle offense or any intent to commit any of these crimes.
Slow down.
Essentially, someone else, what's the difference, was represented defense, and she was framed that perhaps the dog has inflicted the injury. This Google search rebuts that defense, and one of that she's been framed. It goes to her state of mind and also rebuts the Bowden defense that, as the defendants have claimed, that the police did not do a proper search, that they did not search and investigate any other individuals. It goes to the fact that there's a compelling evidence that the defendant is the only one culpable from John O'Keefe's death, and her state of mind hours after becoming aware that John has passed.
Good reading when it was so small. So, Ms. McLaughlin, what I would like from you is a proposed instruction as to what I tell the jury, and typically bad acts, I tell them it can only be used for this particular purpose. You're asking me to tell them, and I have not decided yet whether I'm going to.
If I can have an opportunity to be heard.
Of course. I want you to read the cases. I'm familiar with Keown, but I want to read the other.
Sure.
So this isn't something any of us should rush into. So I really appreciate you flagging it, Mr. Lally. What I'd like you to tell me is what specifically you'd like me to tell the jury that they can consider this for. So you're not even saying consciousness of guilt at this point, right?
I am. It does go to her consciousness of guilt.
If I give the instruction and if I say it goes to consciousness of guilt, I'd like the defense to let me know whether they would like me to give a consciousness of guilt instruction at the same time or later. So this is what I want you all to do so that we can have another discussion on this.
Sure.
And this is the extraction of the phone. So the defense has had this.
The defense has had it longer than the Commonwealth has had access to this. So I'd say they have the information approximately 2 years.
We haven't raised that issue in our objection.
No, that's what I was wondering, because I was told it might have been a discovery violation that we would be here on. So what is the date and time of the search? January 29th, but what time?
January 29th, 2022.
Right, but what time?
1:24 p.m.
And Mr. Yannetti, you say that this is after Proctor has called her?
I believe it's about 5 minutes later.
When he called her or he showed up?
No, he calls her at 1:19. I believe that was the time.
All right, so get all of this for me. We can take more time. We can take a longer break or, an issue break. I think this sort of falls on Miss Little and Miss McLaughlin to just go through everything. You seem to be the ones that have immediate access to the records to find these things out. So if you could just find that out, the time that Proctor called her, I don't know, that's in evidence now?
Not yet.
About Proctor calling her at that time?
Correct. Not yet. It's not yet in evidence, but it will be.
Through who?
Through Guarino.
Oh, okay. So you're going to touch upon that anyway, regardless of what this is?
Only for the purpose of the time of that call, and there was no Google searches prior to him calling.
Even if I don't admit this, you're going to do that?
Not if it causes the court to admit that.
No, it doesn't cause me to admit it.
Even if it militates in that favor, I don't see why it would.
No, I just wanted to clarify whether you intended. You said it's not in yet.
If I can just talk it over.
Yes.
I will defer to my co-counsel and report that the only reason we would need that in is if they tried to get in the search.
They tried to what? I'm sorry.
To bring the other search in, the 124 search in.
You banged that while you said that.
I'm sorry.
Okay, so that's different angle and your co-counsel caught it.
Yes.
All right. So we will address those not before the break. And if you, how much longer do you have with him?
I have roughly an hour.
Okay. So we make sure we take the break.
That's
what did you decide?
I don't remember that getting in of Karen.
Neither.
Googling that, but it's possible. That was a long time ago.
That would seem so odd if they allow that in. This
I don't
is such a
think they
huge issue, right? If you're talking about the right to counsel, and if you're allowing Google searches to actually having counsel, that would be insane.
Corey's here. She's catching up, and she said Mass State Police and MassDOT paid me $360 to $380 each, $360, $380 each as reimbursement for filing fees. Couldn't get attorney fees because I'm not licensed in Massachusetts. Otherwise,
wow.
Go,
Corey, can you do me a
Corey.
favor and cash one of those checks and send it to Canton for my case, please? I'm not kidding. I'll pay you back the money eventually. Please.
I can't believe you still have not done
We
that.
should talk. I'll send a check. I have a check.
Right.
Everyone's
Oh
offered.
my
I don't
God.
want to. I don't want anyone to do that for real. But
Okay.
Corey
we're
just
gonna-
got
we'll
paid
talk.
by Massachusetts.
Yeah, but I can go drop it off there today.
You have checkbooks?
We all have
Oh,
checkbooks
that's right. I
here.
forgot that you live there. Do you have the email? So we got the email that said that we had to pay, but I want to make sure it goes to our case though, the payment.
Send me the information. We need to get this because
we do.
You need to do this. That
Okay,
can't just be the holdup.
Sorry,
Okay,
sorry.
this is before Scordi-Bellow comes in.
While she's looking through that, Your Honor, we should.
You need to come closer.
I think the court knows this. We do not have witnesses here.
Yeah, I told you. You did not need witnesses today.
I just wanted to make sure.
And that's why I wanted to make it clear. I told you. Your witnesses aren't here because I said so.
Thank you.
Now, Yannetti has to be the most un-Italian Italian I've ever met, right? Because I've seen a lot of these, we call them Ginzo's attorneys, that they're great attorneys, but they don't have the class and patience of Yannetti. They wouldn't be able to do this. And you have to obviously respect the judge, but I've seen so many conflicts over way less intrusive things than what's going on here. Have you ever met an Italian that classy as Yannetti?
It's tough to be as classy as Yannetti, but you mean as patient, really.
Both. I mean, think about this. If Joe Benigno is an attorney and he's going up there,
would never happen. But I understand what you're saying.
He was almost a doctor, so I don't know what's scarier.
He was never really either. That was like a week. And yeah, I know what you mean though, right? He could have been like a tough guy, Boston guy, and he's not.
Right.
Yeah.
I just thought of Bourbon's song. I could have been a doctor, but I paint my arm blue. Okay.
Funny.
The prosecution rests, and now we have Brian Lucky Loughran.
Did you girls see any of the intercept? Are you okay, Sam? It seems like you're itching to go
No, I
somewhere.
have something at 12:30 happening, and so I'm just aware of the time. That's all.
Yeah, you can go if
Do
you
you
have
need to take off? Are we wrapping at 12:30?
I
Yeah.
might have to.
At 12.
I haven't.
Okay.
I'm waiting to hear.
So the interception emails and texts and signal things, they were referring to Lucky a few times, almost as like a Forrest Gump. Did you ever see any of that? You
Forrest Gump. What do you mean?
That's what I was going to ask. Like, who was actually saying it? I know that you're sort of not watching the forensic files, but they get some good messages. And there was a conversation about Lucky. I just don't know what the context was, or who was calling him that, or what.
People were mean about Lucky. People were mean.
They better not be, man. He is my number one by far.
Wait, but what's the insinuation? That there's something wrong? Is that what you're saying? Something wrong with
I don't
Lucky?
know. I don't know who was saying it or
yeah.
who was doing it. I just know that the girls, I mean, I was probably just staring at Tuesday, to be fair, but I heard the reference to Lucky and that, and there may have been something else. I just didn't know if Aiden was saying it or if someone else was saying it.
No, it wasn't Aiden.
No, people were
Well,
mean.
I do recommend to check out the Forensic Files. Their YouTube channel is really good.
Yeah. I'll link them down below.
We all agree.
Thank you.
Direct your attention to February 15th of 2022. We were approached by an investigator who wanted to ask you questions about what you had seen and done on January 29th of 2022.
Yes.
Do you remember his name?
Yes.
What is it?
Paul?
And what was your understanding about whom Paul worked for?
Objection.
Ask it differently.
On February 15th of 2022, were you ever approached by anybody in law enforcement, sir?
No.
So what was your understanding of Paul's job?
Objection.
I'll see Counselor Sidebar.
So before I hear the objection, I have no idea who this is. Who's Paul?
Paul Markowski is our investigator. That's all. I just wanted to point out that he spoke to our investigator in February of 2022. The police did not talk to him until sometime in 2023. It's on a Bowden issue.
Okay, so you can say that you can bring out that the police didn't talk to him.
Okay.
What's the nature of your objection?
Leading and irrelevant.
So you can just point out when, if ever, he spoke to the police.
Oh, that's fine. One question while we're here, Judge. The Commonwealth had given us an old accident report, I think from 2015, where this witness was backing up and kind of struck a pedestrian. I don't know if Mr. Lally intends to go into that, but we would be objecting to that.
Do you intend to go into that?
I do, but I was going to approach before I do.
Okay, so we'll wait until then.
That's fine.
Now that's interesting because when people say that the theory or the motivation might have been to frame Lucky by putting John out where he was found, that this gives some more credence to that theory.
Yeah, because they would know that, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In reality, it could be really anybody. It is common sense that most likely there would be a plow going by at this time, although there wasn't that much snow on the ground anyway. So I don't think they necessarily needed to depend on Lucky, but at least somebody. And that's
He would have
why
been
I
an
did it.
easy target, though, and they would have known he was going to be the plow guy, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's a stretch though, and they were panicking. Now, Kevin, could you say, Kevin does say, stop with the yawning, Sam. Sam's going to kill me. You okay?
Go ahead. No, I'm fine. I'm listening.
He's saying that they would never have put him on the front lawn of their own house
I've heard
if
that.
they were. Yeah, so what is the counter argument to that?
Because, so they're not real smart about this, right? So even Jen in the 911 call, she tries to say he got out of the car, and so their thinking collectively was, well, we're going to say that we don't know that he got out of the car. So they're going back to when Karen drops him off, and he had a glass and he walked up and Karen pulled away and didn't see him fall, right? I mean, so that's where they're headed in psychologically. And we get wind of that because Jen in the 911 call says it twice. She starts to say it and then she stops because she realizes, wait, am I supposed to know that? So she stops herself. But the thing about that that's just so off base is, in reality, if you really did see Karen and John in that car and you really did believe they pulled away, you would steadfastly assume John and Karen left. So if John is on that front lawn, he must have come back at some time later. You would absolutely never go back and go, oh, well, we must not have seen him get out of the car and then he fell. I mean, there just would be no association in your psychology that John was there at that time. So to me, that's a really big tell about where they were trying to go, right? You know what I'm saying? Guy never came in the house.
Well, they know,
you know what I'm
Brian Higgins and Brian Albert know that John got out of the car, obviously, because that's how this guy's laying on our lawn, on our yard, and we moved them wherever in the house, wherever you want to say. They know he exited. Did they have any inclination that placing him near the street would somehow implicate Karen when they did it?
No.
I agree.
I don't think it had anything to do with
You would
Karen.
never think that. Like, it's again, when Brian Higgins heard that statement that morning, it is manna from heaven for that big boy. All of a sudden now there's a cracked taillight, and then things have to come into play. And that's when they put him there. But again,
yeah, I mean,
you're right.
That morning though, before Jen tells Brian Higgins, she's not thinking it either, because when 911 asks about Karen, she doesn't even think to mention Karen. He asks, who's that yelling? And she's like, John O'Keefe?
His girlfriend, his name's John O'Keefe? His name's John O'Keefe.
Right.
I think they're originally too, it was kind of just like this big mystery. Like they were going to almost like get Karen in on the big mystery of like, oh my God, Karen, yeah, you dropped him off, but he never came in the house. Like, this is so crazy. Like, what happened? Like, oh my God. And it was going to be this like aliens came down and so crazy because everybody's saying he didn't come in, and Karen and they were going to be on Karen's side of like, she did drop him off. He got out of the car. And then it's like, we don't know what happened. Oh my gosh.
Well, not really. The street is danger, right? They could have put him in the backyard. They could have put him near the railroad tracks in the way back in their woods. So they knew they were putting. No, but they knew where they were going to put him.
Like that's like he's on the train tracks, and he could then. That's a whole different mystery of like man found on the train tracks is very different than man found in the spot that his girlfriend remembers dropping him off, but the people say he never came in the house.
Correct.
Yeah, I wasn't implying that they were going to do that. There would be too many actual tracks of them walking. But the street is the danger. That's where they put him. Where they fucked up is they didn't break any of his bones when they put him there.
The other thing is that Kevin
psychopath killers.
Well, and Kevin didn't go through trial 2, so he doesn't know that there's no hypothermia at all in John O'Keefe's body. That's really important because the truth is that the motive for the people in the house is very different. I agree with him. There's no way they put a living person outside to die in the cold. Nobody does that. And I understand from their standpoint why that seems completely irrational, because it is, because that's not what happened. What happened was he died. That's the motive for the people in the house. They did not want to take the fall for a murder that was a fight that turned into a murder, right? So, and that's very different. Putting a dead body outside to make it look like a fall or like we don't know what happened is different than a living body outside so that he could die in the cold.
Yeah, and that actually goes against your argument that the 227 House Long to Die in Cold actually took place at 227 because
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't because everyone assumes that was why she was. Everyone assumed that Jen was looking because they put a living person outside, which is absurd. These people are all law enforcement. They know that if you're going to stumble upon a dead body, there's no difference. They were very lucky it was cold out because when the EMS showed up, they all know that you can't arrive at a scene and pronounce somebody dead if it's freezing cold out, because if a body temperature is really cold because they're dead or because they're hypothermic, we can't tell the difference until they're warmed up at the hospital, right? And so they knew that to put him outside, nobody could say he was dead on the scene, that he was died there, that right? Because there's people who have been brought back to life because they were frozen.
Yes. We've heard that. I don't know if these two don't
They
understand
would have
that
known
at this
that.
point.
Oh, of course they would.
But he's dead. Like, think about it. You're envision Brian Higgins and Brian Up. You're looking at dead John. Even if he's downstairs or on the side of the house, you're looking at him. He's not breathing, right?
No, but they're worried about how he's going to get found. They're worried about how to when do we put him outside? How is he going to be discovered and where? Right.
Right.
So how long
And that
would it
search
take?
is also like, how much time do we have for our alibi?
That too. But I think it's more how long, what time does he need to go outside? What time does he need to be outside is really like the question. So how long would it have taken somebody to die in the snow if they were going to be outside? If it's going to look like he just died, like he fell and died, how long would that have to be? How long would he have to be out there to look like that's what happened?
But we know he's got that huge gash in the back of his head. We know why.
Yeah, and there's no blood there to match that.
That's a crazy thing. It's like, where was he actually bleeding?
I mean, I have a sense of, I think, where he was bleeding, but that's the other crazy thing. And when Jen is asked about that on the 911 call, she immediately changes topics.
Oh, someone's doing CPR.
Right?
Yeah,
To
you
get him
are
off
every
the
night in
phone.
your bed.
Yeah. He's like, yeah, there is a cut, and
yeah,
and he's bleeding. There's blood coming out of his nose.
Mm-hmm. And one woman's doing CPR. Bye.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, and yeah, they are doing CPR. Oh, somebody is doing CPR. Yeah, I mean, it's bad.
How'd you
That
get
call
caught
is
with that
bad.
alcohol in your locker?
We were told on by some other girls.
Mm-hmm.
Some very.
Did you happen to look like Jen McCabe?
They were Jen McCabe-like.
Right.
Yeah, they were.
Isn't that funny, Emily? See how that works?
They were Jen McCabe-like girls.
Isn't that
yeah.
funny? You thought that question was random, didn't you? I got lucky.
No, you're just trying to psychoanalyze why a better psychoanalyze is why you think Jen McCabe is this perfect little angel.
I don't think she's a perfect angel. She was a horrible witness. She lied. But we don't have time. Do you have any more questions before we have to go at 12:30? I hate when people pay.
Do you
and they
have to
don't
go
answer.
at 12:30?
I
can go a
probably
little bit
do.
longer.
I was
Sam
trying
does.
to.
Okay.
I could see that girl. She's usually enthusiastic.
Yeah. Now I'm getting
She's
nervous because
itching.
I didn't hear back. I didn't hear.
What do you
back.
have at 12:30?
I have a client, but I was seeing if I could
Oh.
push it a little bit, but they're not getting back
Yeah.
to me, so I can't. Mm-hmm.
No, just the expert sent a 99-cent super sticker. Thank you.
Wherever will we
Thanks,
spend
expert.
Okay, well, every single time I start these sidebars, I always say this is when we're going to finish them, and we're never going to finish them, so we need to do this again.
Yay.
Can Corey pay my
and-
$350 fee? That's only fair if she got the money back already.
How much is the fee? I didn't see
I
a
don't even know.
number.
I just saw a check and I tuned out. I don't even know if
I
it's
don't think it was that
$350.
much. No, I don't think it was.
Corey's rich. She has no kids.
We just need to get it out because whatever it is that you need to pay for, Corey wants it and she deserves it, and we're holding her up. So let's talk, and I'll write a check,
Okay.
and we'll figure
Thank
this
you.
out.
And I will reimburse
Mhm.
anyone for that. Just don't have checks.
Awesome.
All right.
Okay.
Well, this was awesome.
Okay.
Thank you, girls. I did
Yeah,
put out a
this is
video
so
today
fun.
with our Trooper Paul and our evaluation of his 2 things that he did at
Yes, I
Canton.
can't wait to watch it.
At the
And were you
police-
yelling at
police
us when we're
department.
like, is this Canton Police Station? I don't know if it's Canton Police Station.
Yes.
Yeah, I figured you were
was.
yelling at some point.
I was like,
It
yes,
looked
that
like-
is CPD.
Yeah, yeah. It
All right,
does.
cool.
It did look like it. So
It is a
All right,
different
so-
angle because you're used to seeing it from like up
From the
here
back.
and Higgins being such a weirdo.
Yeah, sometimes they look different from the back.
Mm.
Okay,
Okay.
you guys are the best. I'll see you
Thanks,
again soon.
Emily, for having us.
Thank you. I'll see you Monday.
Bye.
See you Monday.
Yeah, we'll see you at your nooner.
Nooner.
Bye. Bye. That was fun. I love doing these sidebars. And I apologize that I did this during Kelsey's hearing. It was the only time that worked for all of us. I'm going to go watch Kelsey's hearing on the rewatch now. That just makes me think of one thing. If you are also following Kelsey Fitzsimmons' case and you guys want an opportunity to support her, I am doing a partnership with Bay Harbor Beauty where 10% of your purchase goes directly to Kelsey Fitzsimmons's Give Send Go if you enter the code Emily at checkout. So if that's something that you're interested in, I just started. It's like I feel like I need to like use these for like a week or two before I give you my full assessment of like how they've impacted my skin. But so far, phenomenal. Everything is so like gentle, but you can like feel it making a difference right away. This rejuvenating eye cream, I feel like a real like influencer right now. They do like the thing. The rejuvenating eye cream is 10 out of 10. Like I can have sensitive skin sometimes and there's like no reactions or anything that feels like itchy or breakouts or anything. So the link is in the description of this video. And that's it. Oh, and speaking of the expert, my friend, you guys can have the chance to have a double header of me today because the expert and I are going to do a Squirrel School class tonight at 9. And I'm so excited for this. We're going to get to watch the expert learn about Trooper Paul in real time and hear the Commonwealth's theory of the case in real time. And I could not be more excited, like getting to see somebody experience Trooper Paul. And hopefully we can also get to Shannon Burgess and Judd Welcher for the first time is like the stuff of just a dream come true. So that will be tonight at 9, and I will see you guys then. Also, I made a really, really funny cover or like thumbnail for that. So I'm going to go put that out right now so that you guys can put your notifications on for it. You're all the best. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. And be nice to each other out there because it's a jungle out there. It's crazy. See you guys at 9.
If you need a place to breathe, some stress to just relieve, then come watch Emily see, where we keep it drama free. We want justice for John O'Keefe, Aiden and Kelsey, waved bye bye to Morrissey. Let's clean up Norfolk County. Emily C, the one we need, reading sidebars with Corey, writing heck diaries, giving the people what they need. It's my pleasure to entertain, keeping you laughing makes my day. Positivity all the way. What do we tell Satan? Not today. And now it's time to say goodbye. But before we say goodnight, just keep one thing in mind. Please like, comment, subscribe.